Football Fridays in Georgia, presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to buckle up, Georgia. And a special flyover tonight at Garland Shoemake Memorial Stadium in Sharpsburg to commemorate Breast Cancer Awareness and Pink Out Night, as the third-ranked Carrollton Trojans have come to town to take on the 5-1 East Coweta Indians. And good evening. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by former Auburn Tigers All-American, NFL first-round draft pick, and 15-year pro Wayne Gandy. And Wayne, if I say, do you know Wayne? People might say Wayne who? Do you know Matt? Matt who? But if I say, do you know Juju? Everybody knows who Juju is. Julian Juju Lewis, the #1 college prospect in 2026, 5-star sophomore quarterback for the Carrollton Trojans, already committed to Southern Cal, is back on GPB tonight.
An all-world quarterback. We're talking about a young man that can do anything with the ball. He has all the intangibles. He can make all the throws down the field. He's mature and poised. You can really remove that sophomore tag. He's one of the better players in the country at the quarterback position.
His #1 target is Caleb Odom, who's already committed to Alabama. #1 tight end in the country. They don't even use him at tight end. He's a wide receiver for the Trojans.
Part of that new hybrid position, kind of like the Kyle Pitts of the Falcons, one of those tall, rangy, big catch radius. Look for him down the field with the big plays. As you said, he doesn't just play tight end. He's a big play receiver.
Now, East Coweta, surprise team. They're 5-1, just 2 points away from being 6-0 after they lost 15 starters from last year's team. Not expected to be this good this season, but they are, and the big part of their success is their offensive line. It's massive, led by their left tackle, Zach Clayton.
Averaging around 6'5", almost 300 pounds. Zach Clayton at left tackle. The Hurd twins, only sophomores. Helton in the middle, A.J. King. This line with this kind of weather is wet. Look for them to open up big holes tonight.
And on the defensive side of the ball for the Indians, Josh Anderson, who's averaging over 11 tackles per game.
Couple of offers, but he's underrated. He's underappreciated. He's the kind of guy that plays in the box, can blitz, he can drop back in coverage, and that might be key for him tonight to trying to stop this Juju Lewis-led offense. Can he cover on the back end?
So it's East Coweta and Carrollton. Should be a great ball game. Let's get the carousel started and send it off to John Nelson.
Thank you very much, Matt. Good evening to you. Good evening, Wayne. Good evening to all of you, however you are accessing this large device or small. Matt Stewart did the math. I'm going to steal his stat. This is the 4th time in his last 14 games that Juju Lewis has been on our air at Georgia Public Broadcasting. In his freshman year, no bigger than what happened last year in the last game of the year. If you look at Joey King and you ask him what the difference is in the sophomore version of Juju Lewis and the freshman version that you're looking at right there from Georgia State, this season, he's taking what the defenses are giving him. He's not forcing his throws like he was at points last year, like you got to see on GPB. Matt says he's already recruited and he's already declared to Southern Cal. All you got to do is look at page 40 of the NIL issue and see what's going on with Juju, and what do you think the recruiting really starts in earnest right now. That's the Juju story from my perspective. Hannah, on more of a big night here in Sharpsburg.
Yeah, John, another storyline to follow tonight is that it's Pink Out here at East Coweta High School. Behind me is the Pink Posse, celebrating breast cancer survivors and honoring those who have lost their battle to breast cancer. So look for a lot of pink on your screen tonight. Not only are we broadcasting live from Sharpsburg, we are also live right now from Dallas, Georgia for Hughes versus East Paulding. Wiley Ballard on the call. You can watch that at gpb.org/sports or the GPB Sports app. And while you're on the app, go vote for this week's poll question of the day, which is who's going to win this game, Carrollton or East Coweta? We will be calculating those votes as we go. Don't forget to join me at halftime, where we will have our Make That Kid an Offer segment. We will have our You Save It Pharmacy Georgia Player Spotlight and hear from the principal who was in one of those planes during the flyover. So all of that at halftime. I'll see y'all then. Until then, Matt and Wayne will send it back to you, and hopefully the rain holds off.
All right, thank you, Hannah. And this is the Region 2 7A opener for both of these teams. And who is going to win the game tonight? Well, last year, Carrollton was a 38-28 winner, but that was a game in which the Indians committed 5 turnovers and really killed themselves. That's going to be a point of emphasis for them tonight, Wayne, is protect the football.
That's the one thing that was their Achilles heel a whole season last year for the Indians, and that's the thing their coach, John Smalls, talked about something that he loves in Cohen Peoples, his quarterback. He takes care of the ball, and that is key. Juju Lewis does not need more opportunities to affect the game. Keep him on the sideline.
Well, both of these teams have had a week off to get ready for this game. East Coweta comes in at 5-1 and coming off their first loss of the season when they had a 16-0 lead and could not hold on to it in their 23-22 loss to Lambert. So they come in at 5-1. And Carrollton also comes in at 5-1. They've won 5 straight since their season opening 39-34 loss to 6A state champ Langston Hughes. They lost their star player Bryce Hicks in that game. They hope to get him back for the playoffs, but they've won 5 in a row. They have not won by less than 3 touchdowns since that loss.
Kamari Farmer, number 21, the running back, has stepped in for Bryce Hicks, who can't be replaced, but he's done a great job. There's a lot of energy in this stadium. You can feel this is a region matchup.
Brock Belden has it teed up and ready to kick off for the Indians. And your opening kickoff is brought to you by Buckle Up Georgia. Buckle Up Georgia, seat belts save lives. And the opening kick is going to be taken by McNeil at the 1-yard line. He does have a kick return touchdown this season, and McNeil's going to get stopped at the 24-yard line. And that's where the Trojans are going to go on offense for the first time tonight, and our first time to see Juju Lewis on the cover of Sports Illustrated this month, the youngest football player ever in the history of that magazine to be on the cover of SI.
Talented quarterback with all the intangibles, young man handling the pressure well. His coach talks about that's the key, and he's managing the team. Can he keep his performance up tonight against his hungry defense?
You saw his career numbers, over 5,200 yards passing already in his career with 48 touchdowns. And 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Farmer. And Farmer tries the left side, and trouble getting back to the line of scrimmage as that Indians defense aggressive on the first snap. Here's a look at the Trojans on offense. It's brought to you by Regions Bank. Dudley, Norrid, Holton, the sophomore, already committed to Alabama. Wells and Sizemore. And the running back is Farmer. The wide receivers, Odom, Kofer. The tight end is White, and Mosley is the other wide receiver. 5-yard pickup up to the 29-yard line, and Kamari Farmer has been a great replacement for the injured Bryce Hicks. He's down on the sideline. I talked to him before the game, but Farmer, the sophomore, has rushed for 648 yards. He's number 3 in 7A in rushing.
Dynamic runner with top-end speed, still in that same frame as a Bryce Hicks, can catch the ball out of the backfield. You see on those first 2 carries, he will run between the tackles.
Handoff goes to Farmer again, and Farmer is not going to pick up the first down as he gets stopped by the right side of that East Coweta defensive line. They come out of the pile with the ball. That's Josh Anderson, who we were talking about just a few moments ago, but the play was blown dead. It's 4th down and a 3-and-out for the Trojans on their opening offensive possession.
Very, very interesting call there by OC Reggie Perkins. 3 runs in a row, not letting Juju throw the ball at all. It is a little wet out here. Rain came through briefly. Not sure quite yet is that the key, but on that drive right there, trying to establish the run with Kamari Farmer.
Seth Gritton is standing deep for the Indians. He's averaging 10 yards per punt return. He's number 10 in 7A and number 2 in the region. A punt by Albertus, who's a really good one. That's a rugby-style kick that bounces away from Gritton, going to roll dead at the 28-yard line. And that's where the Indians are going to go on offense for the first time tonight. And a chance for us to see Cohen Peoples, their junior quarterback, who actually leads the region. He has more yards passing than Juju Lewis, 1,161 yards. He's number 7 in 7A, averaging over 193 yards passing per game. Also has 6 rushing touchdowns.
Big offensive line, some key running backs for Peoples to use, being very effective so far this season. 12 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions.
And he's going to pass on the first snap. Throw to the far side, and it is caught. A little bit short of the first down, but that is Deshaun Horsley, who's been a big-time wide receiver for the Indians, but there is a flag laying down on the ground at the 32.
Nice job right there of Peoples, sitting in the pocket on a little rollout, willing to take the hit there by C.J. Kelly.
Todd Downs is our referee working the game tonight, one of the best in the state. Got a chance to talk to him before the game, and let's look at the rest of that fine officiating crew working this region opener tonight. And there's John Small, head coach of the Indians in his 7th season with a record of 42-31. But since they started the season 1-9 in 2019, they've gone 32-13. So massive improvement in the program since the early years when he was here, coming from South Gwinnett. Deontay Jones gets the handoff, and Jones going to get blown up right there as he stepped into the hole. And that was Jaden Thompson, the free safety, coming up to make the tackle. Look at East Coweta on offense, brought to you by Regions Bank. Clayton, the Hurd twins at guard and tackle. They are gigantic. Samples in the middle and King at right guard. Jones is the running back. Maestri, Britton, Clinton the tight end, and Horsley's their big-time wide receiver. Number 4 in 7A in receiving yards. Going to swing it out here for Deontay Jones, and he's going to be hit by Jordan Thompson or Jaden Thompson again at the 25-yard line, barely getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job there of Thompson, Montrez Smith rallying to the ball. That's what they're going to need. That's the key to this defense of Carrollton. Watch the Whites jerseys close in on this ball. 4 or 5 guys putting a hat on the runner. That's how they play defense. A little undersized, but a lot of energy, a lot of hustle for the Trojans.
3rd down and 13 coming up. The line to gain is the 38. The ball is sitting on the 25. Just underway in Sharpsburg, Georgia, in Coweta County, south of the Atlanta airport. Setting up a screen pass and gets blown up right away. Big time play. And it's going to be 4th down. That was Landon Wolf, the inside linebacker.
Reading all the way, 28. Watch his eyes. He sees the screen developing, slicing in front of the offensive lineman right there. Cortland Hurd, no chance. Nice job by the inside linebacker, Landon Wolf.
Landon Wolf has been a big-time player for them this season since the bell cow of their defense, Brody Bradburn, suffered a dislocated ankle in preseason. He's slowly working his way back. Punt is going to hit at the 48-yard line. A short punt off the foot of Brock Belden. And a short field coming up here for Carrollton when we get back. 4 minutes in and scoreless in Sharpsburg.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Mic check.
3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Welcome back to Sharpsburg. It is that time to catch up with our friends from East Coweta and the donation to our friends from Cigna, $1,500 to our friends at East Coweta. Lee Heberlin, the AD, hanging out with us on his daughter's birthday. He's working.
That's right.
Thanks for being a great partner with us at Football Fridays and to football all season long.
Yes. First, happy birthday, Bailey Catherine. Thank you, Cigna and GPB, for always supporting high school athletics, and we're glad y'all can make it out tonight.
Thanks for having us. $1,500 from Cigna to East Coweta. Let's send it back upstairs to Matt and Wayne.
And congratulations to Lee's, the new athletics director here at East Coweta, replacing longtime AD Hap Hines, who graduated to a principal's position. And no Hap's at the game tonight. Joey King, 3rd season as the Trojans head coach, 31-4 overall, 98-8 as a high school head coach in the state of Georgia, counting his days at Cartersville. And Juju goes to the air for the first time. There's Caleb Odom at the 35, and Odom tracking all the way down to the 19-yard line.
matchup problem anywhere in the country. Caleb Odom, the 4-star, 6'4", 6'5", 220. Juju Lewis loves to read the defense, find that big body in the middle right there, and you can see the physicality. That's when that tight end, he goes from being a receiver out on the edge to a tight end running down the middle of the field.
Committed to Alabama on July 15th. Juju going to the air again, throwing, and nearly caught by Mosley in the back of the end zone. Ryan Mosley, the sophomore wide receiver who's got big-time high ceiling.
Good protection, plenty of time to try to find Mosley in the back of the end zone, just fingertips away there. Tight coverage by Dylan Holston, working along with Darian Horsley. Holston is more of the corner that teams like to attack out on the edge.
Handoff goes to Farmer, and Farmer shoves his way down to the 15-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. As we take a look at the Indians on defense, brought to you by Regions Bank. Cobb, Horsley, and Murray up front. The linebackers, Knockin, Thornton, and Arrington. And on that back line in the secondary, Horsley, Duggar, Larkin, Anderson, and Holston. Indians giving up 17.5 points per game. They've got 17 sacks and 7 takeaways so far this season.
Find Caleb Odom if you're an Indian defender. Up top on your screen, one-on-one matchup, someone that Juju Lewis loves to go to.
Farmer, another run on 3rd and 6, not going to get there. Interesting, they go back to the run. That was Horsley making the tackle.
In that situation, Matt, a lot of times Joey King had already most likely decided he was going for it on 4th down. You try to pop it out of there with Farmer, but you can sometimes, based on how many yards you get, maybe you go for it on 4th. This time, Carrollton deciding to try the field goal.
4th down and 5, and they bring Carlos Hernandez on. He's 0 for 1 this season. This is going to be a 30-yard kick from straight on. Kick is going to be no good. So Carrollton gets a short field at the 48. They move it 28 yards and come up empty, Wayne, on the field goal attempt.
Darian Horsley, number 7 off the edge, is patting himself as though maybe he got a little piece of that coming off. Let's see. You see number 7 coming to your screen. No, he didn't get a touch of it. Maybe just feeling the pressure of him coming, but pull right there, wide left.
Looked like the holder on the play. Andrew Alberta's had some trouble getting it upright on the snap that came to him, and it was not direct on. And so they failed on the field goal attempt, and the Indians go back on offense at the 20-yard line. Jones out to the 30. And Jones close to a 13-yard pickup.
Nice job. Great vision here of Deontay Jones bouncing this to the outside right there, staying patient, getting back in the hole, and then this is where he wants to get. This young man has brilliant speed, can take it from any distance. As you can see, he's trying to stay in bounds, make it into a foot race, but he is having a solid season for the Indians.
Could eclipse 1,000 career rushing yards tonight. Another big run for Deontay Jones. Back-to-back first down carries by the senior running back, been offered by Liberty and Morehouse.
Big offensive line, easy to get lost back there. And you can see the visions and the cut, the explosive cuts that he has to get upfield.
So 1st and 10 at the 43. And Jones gets out of a tackle in the backfield and trips up. He had some room to run on the outside, ends up tripping up at the 44-yard line as we take a look at Carrollton's defense. Brought to you by Regions Bank. Kelly, Levy, and Ricks up front. Linebackers are Wolf, Adams, Gamble, and Smith, who's committed to Duke. And on that back line, McClure, Thompson, Johnson, and Hill, although Hagan ended up getting the start at corner tonight in place of McClure. 2nd down and 9. Thompson in there, and Thompson collides with the defender at the 45 and falls forward to the 47. Darrell Thompson getting his first carry. He's the bigger of the backs, Wayne, at 5'11", 202.
Nice job there by Montrez Smith, stepping up in the hole from that inside backer position, the three-star linebacker. But look for Jones, Thompson, Howell. This team with this big offensive line, they want to create third and short, second and short, keep the pressure off Cohen Peoples.
And that's definitely advantage for East Coweta at the line of scrimmage. They're much bigger than Carrollton's defensive line. Peoples on the quarterback run. And Peoples reaches the 50, but going to be short of the first down. This will give East Coweta, however, a chance to flip the field and pin Carrollton deep.
Didn't feel comfortable going down the field, trying to make something happen with his feet. Not a lot of yards per carry for Peoples on the season. Nice job coming up. Calvin Hill, the UAB commit, the three-star, and making that play for Carrollton.
Brock Belden on the punt. He averages just under 39 yards per kick, which is number 2 in 7A. Keyshawn Johnson standing deep. He averages 14 yards per return, which is number 5 in 7A. Little rush, and Belden going to kick it away from Johnson. Johnson going to track it down at the 10-yard line and try to return it. Ends up getting about 10 yards on the return up to the 20-yard line, and that's where Carrollton's going to go on offense for the third time tonight when we get back with 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Still scoreless in Sharpsburg.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Just looking. I only buy local and sustainable, so.
Oh, well, that shirt's not local. You should be wearing cotton. Georgia's a major supplier of cotton worldwide, so if you'd like to buy local to support Georgia, buying cotton's a great place to start. It's renewable and sustainable, naturally.
Thanks.
And that's a polyester fiber made of oil, by the way.
Where's your dressing room?
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Welcome back to Sharpsburg. 4:06 for the first as the field has been flipped one more time. This is a multi-screen experience at GPB. It always is every single Football Friday. Second screen tonight. Wiley Ballard on the bark for Langston Hughes and East Paulding. Their first quarter winding down, the only score on the board. Langston Hughes with one on there, and they're now done with a quarter. They're heading to the second. Langston Hughes leading East Paulding 7-0. GPB.org/sports. All night long as season 2, Matt, is well underway. Back to you and Wayne.
That Langston Hughes team beat Carrollton in the season opener at Carrollton, 39-34. Carrollton had the ball first and goal to go from the 1-yard line with 11 seconds to go, had 3 plays and couldn't get it in for the win. Farmer on the screen pass, and Farmer up to the 26-yard line, gets 6 yards on the play.
Nice job of leading the running back with the pass there by Lewis. Farmer stepping in the big shoes, as we talked about Bryce Hicks. Those are the kind of plays that he was built into this offense to run, but Farmer has picked up that slack for his fallen maiden, doing a great job. Nice job of getting the ball and getting upfield.
Lewis looking, clean pocket now, dancing around back there, gets rid of it and overthrows his target. Farmer at the 32-yard line. It's going to be third down.
Good job of rallying. Nowhere really to go initially with that. Juju didn't like the coverage, decided to pull it. That's one thing about Juju. You want to make him stay in the pocket. He's very dangerous throwing the ball. When he get out of the pocket, he keeps his head up the field. He can remember where his receivers are. He does a great job of take your hat off on that play right there to the Indian defense.
3rd down and 3. Farmer gets the handoff again. Second effort going to get him the first down as he ran through the tackle by Tyler Cobb. And Wayne, let's take a look at your keys to the game that's brought to you by DBH DD.
When you have this kind of quarterback and the talent that you have around him, you just want to stay the course. Take the highs and lows. You can put up points, 43.7 points a game. You already are putting up. Just stay and go with your game plan. And for East Coweta, take Caleb Odom. You cannot let him in them one-on-one matchups. You got to double team him, find him each and every play.
Pass is thrown complete to Mosley, and Mosley out of bounds at the 40. Keys to the game, by the way, brought to you by Breda Pest Management, official pest control of high school football.
One thing you see so far in this game with this Carrollton offense, they seem to be in the mindset of trying to take what the defense is giving, not just trying to force the big play down the field. Not saying that's not coming very soon, but right now they're trying to work the ball down the field with the run game and the short passing game as well.
2nd down and 3, and thrown complete to Mosley. I know he stepped out of bounds. He was not in bounds.
Ryan Mosley, number 4, the young sophomore, 6'2", 175, trying to keep his feet in, but you could see that left foot had already stepped out, and the official was right there on the call.
3rd down and 4. Trojans are 1 of 3 on their 3rd down conversions here in the first quarter. Farmer gets it. Farmer going to be close to the first down. It's going to depend upon the spot. Looks like he's right there on the mark at the 43.
And that's the third and 3+ that Carrollton has decided to try to get it running the ball with Kamari Farmer. This time a little closer, and they've just given it to him. But we've seen now on 4, 3rd, and 3+, they have gone with the run in situations you think Juju Lewis would throw the ball.
That's going to be the third down for the Trojans here in the first quarter. Now under 3 minutes to play in the period. 1st and 10 for Carrollton at the 43. Ball sitting on the right hash. Farmer gets it again. And Farmer lunges forward to the 46.
Malachi Duggar, number 20, comes up for the big hit. Nice job of moving his feet there as Farmer to fall forward for another 2 yards on that play.
2nd down and 6. Carrollton, 14 plays, 64 total yards to go along with those 3 first downs. They've kept it pretty much on the ground so far. Ball goes to Odom again, sheds a tackle, out of bounds close to the 40, make it the 39. Odom with his 2nd big catch.
Just hard to bring down in a one-on-one situation. Horsley, number 7, who takes the best receiver there, but just big and strong there is Caleb Odom. Great out on that edge, as we said in the open. Kyle Pitts, a couple of years ago, Marietta had Eric Gilbert, that just guy that is that great mixture of tight end and receiver.
Yeah, Gilbert was a little bit thicker. Odom is a little bit thinner and wirier. By no means not thick. Farmer on the run. Farmer hammers it down to the 32.5. Going to be a couple of yards short of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd down and short. Or make that 2nd down and short, pardon me. 2nd down, ball at the 32, it looks like, line to gain the 29.
Going with the hard count right there. Juju Lewis uses it so well to make the defense define for him so he can find his matchups up top.
Farmer again has the first down. Batters his way down to the 27-yard line.
The tip you had here to Kamari Farmer, when you look at his sides, 5'10", 175, running behind his pads right there, willing to run in the middle, not bouncing it to the outside. Once again, picking up a first down.
Lucas Knockin, the linebacker who made the tackle on the play, shaken up on the play. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him. But how about Carrollton? You lose a star player, in my book, maybe the most underrated star player in the state of Georgia, Bryce Hicks. And you just reload with the sophomore Kamari Farmer, who's already approaching 700 yards rushing for the season with the 37 yards he's gained tonight.
Coach King has gone on record to say Bryce Hicks is his best all-around player. He is offensive MVP. We know about Lewis. We know about Odom. It's good to see knocking up on his feet, walking off. Looks like he'll be ready. Tough guy like him. But with Farmer, they've mixed in Calvin Hill. Sauter White gets in there a couple of plays. But, yes, this young man here, only a sophomore, is Farmer, picking up the shoes and putting them on of Bryce Hicks and being just as effective.
5 first downs now for the Trojans with 70-plus seconds left here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 again. Juju scrambling to his right, going on the run, and broken up. Farmer, the tight end, the target, and Josh Anderson buckle up Georgia.
Great job of coming over. Josh Anderson knocking this ball out at the end. Pressure coming off the edge. Juju Lewis keeping his eyes down the field. His target, Jordan White, is open. And this ball is about to be caught until the last second right there. Anderson getting that right hand in. We talked about this young man. Came in the game with 68 tackles, a guy that just works all around the field to make plays. Sometimes you can't figure out if he's a linebacker or safety, but he is a playmaker.
2nd down and 10. Going for the home run, and Mosley going to run out of real estate in the corner of the end zone. 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Working that route tree up there with Odom and Mosley. Good coverage on that back end there. Nice job on that secondary of coverage. Staying with their man, not giving Julian Lewis anywhere to put that ball and creating 3rd and long.
Juju Lewis committed to Lincoln Riley and the Southern Cal Trojans August 22nd after the first game of his sophomore season. 3rd and 10, heavy rush, going to set up a screen for Farmer. Farmer sheds a tackle, picks up the 1st down. What effort by Kamari Farmer.
Matt, we're witnessing Kamari Farmer become a star. Good patience, good blocking, and then it's just about his talent. That's 3 people that he has made miss to pick up that 1st down right there. The young man only listed at 175, but Coach King said he's very strong for his size and a physical runner after he gets the ball in his hands, as you can see.
He had a 194-yard rushing game against Rome. Farmer gets stonewalled this time as the East Coweta defense rallies to stop him. Tyler Horsley leading the way.
We talked about the size of the East Coweta Indian line, but this Carrollton Trojan offensive line is very capable as well, as we've seen driving this ball. And a great job so far in that first quarter by Kamari Farmer.
And that will lead us to the end of the first quarter. 12 minutes in the books on Pink Out Night in Sharpsburg. We got a scoreless game as we head to the second.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Started the second quarter in Sharpsburg. Carrollton and East Coweta scoreless. Matt Stewart, Wayne Gandy, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, our Emmy-winning GPB sports team. You take a look at John Small, 110 victories on his resume, counting his years at South Gwinnett. And this team here tonight has exceeded expectations at 5-1. This was a team that wasn't supposed to be a contender in the region this year because they lost so many players from a year ago. 15 starters, including their starting quarterback who transferred out. But Carrollton has it. 2nd down and 8 to start the quarter. Lewis going to slide down and take a loss at the 13-yard line.
Good job of staying home there by the Indian defense. We've seen in those situations him hand that ball off to Kamari Farmer, but the secondary stayed back, did not bite up on the fake. Nice job there. Josh Anderson getting out there. Julian Lewis doing the smart thing, getting down, not taking the hit.
Josh Anderson, the senior linebacker / safety offered by Elon, Alabama State, and UT Martin. It's 3rd down. Heavy rush, they chase Lewis, throws on the run, and broken up. Great play by Darian Horsley, their top corner, to deflect the ball away from Caleb Odom. There is a flag down on the field.
Horsley, the best corner on this defense. He's the guy that goes with the best receiver. That's what he does each and every week, regardless of what star they have on him. He's the guy that flips over and covers the best receiver on the team.
Ineligible man downfield against the offense. That penalty is declined, brings up 4th down.
So rather than take yardage, East Coweta is going to take the down. So now it's 4th down and 9. Let's see if Josh King runs the field goal kicker back out there. Joey King runs the field goal kicker back out there. Carlos Hernandez has already missed a 30-yarder, and they're not going to bring him back out for this one.
Stay aggressive. You've been in the red zone a couple of times. You came up with no points. You have the quality quarterback in Julian Lewis to make these plays.
4th down and 9 from the 12. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Heavy rush, Lewis in the pocket. Great catch at the goal line and a touchdown for the tight end, Jordan White.
87, we saw him on that last drive get denied by Josh Anderson. This time the big tight end at 6'3", 225, going up high, just running a post route right there from that slot position, right in front of the man who denied him last time, Josh Anderson. Great job by the quarterback, Lewis, keeping the ball high, making his receiver White go up at the high point to grab it. Great catch there by the senior tight end.
White, the 6'3", 225 senior, 9 offers, including Kent State. His 14th career touchdown catch. Now Hernandez, 29 of 32 on his PATs this season. Now 30 of 33 to give Carrollton a 7-0 lead here in the opening minute of the second quarter.
Joey King, the head coach, OC Reggie Perkins, this time going for it on 4th and 8. Good route, great throw, and even a better catch there by the tight end. Those kind of catches are becoming the new tight end. The old school tight end could catch it in their chests. You know, they ran a lot of curl routes and you hit them in the number. These new tight ends, at some point, you don't really know if they're a receiver or a tight end, but great job there by Jordan White of catching that. And how aggressive was Carrollton? You could kind of almost feel a little frustration that they hadn't got on the board on a couple of trips by going for it right there.
Your Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive, 17 plays, 80 yards, nearly 5 minutes. And the touchdown catch from Jordan White. Juju Lewis with the touchdown pass. He now has 19 against 0 INT so far this season. And Hernandez, the kick, is going to come down at the 1, and it's returnable. But not very far. Did not even make it back to the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at your Breda Pest Management keys to the game as the Indians go back on offense.
Be East Coweta offensively. Don't come in a game because Juju Lewis is on the other side and think that you need to take the air out of the ball. Go out, do what you do. If it becomes a scoring war, feel like you can win that kind of game. And for Carrollton, make this Indian offense drive the ball. No cheap, easy points. Keep everything in front of you and come up and tackle.
1st and 10 for the Indians as they now trail 7-0. Go back on offense from the 16. Peoples going to cut back and try to run it, and he's going to get corralled from behind after a 2-yard pickup by C.J. Gamble.
Good job of staying in your rush lanes right there. Really just nowhere to escape to. C.J. Gamble, who's having a great season, good size, only a sophomore. Part of this contingency for Carrollton. There's a lot of sophomores out there producing and making plays for their team.
You just saw Brody Bradburn out there. He's slowly working himself back into the rotation. The bell cow of this Carrollton defense suffered a dislocated ankle in preseason practice. This is just his 3rd game back and not yet back in the starting lineup, but he's getting some time. They're working him back in. Landon Wolf has been a good replacement, but Brody's your guy when he's totally healthy.
Great job.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still, 2nd down.
Brody Bradburn actually is one of the bigger linebackers, gives this defense some size in the middle. A physical player, getting him back changes everything for this defense. It allows guys like Montrez Smith to come off the edge, C.J. Gamble to add a little more pressure, so they're happy to get him back.
People scrambling around inside his own 5-yard line, now going to run it and going to get met out there on the edge at the 12-yard line. Quintez Adams, the other outside linebacker. We called Gamble's name, and now the other OLB comes up and makes the tackle.
Big hit there by Adams coming up on Peoples. Good tackle. A lot of open space. People is a good athlete, can make people miss. Nice job not lowering the head, hitting the quarterback in the chest, creating that loss. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 15 here, 14 yards here for Cohen Peoples in this offense.
Carrollton has doubled up East Coweta time of possession so far in this game. 3rd down and long. Peoples has a pocket. It's clean, going deep, and nearly intercepted over the shoulder. And it's going to be 4th down.
Jay Hagan right there running step for step with the receiver. Just really know where to place this ball, trying to get it down there to Seth Grittington down on the edge, but running step for step. Jay Hayden, Cameron McClure, both battling at that other corner position for playing time, but great coverage by him. One of that, as we already have mentioned, another sophomore contributing for this team.
So Belden is standing about a yard deep in his end zone to take this snap. Gonna rugby style kick it out of there, and a line drive kick that squibs along the ground and rolls dead finally at the 46. So Carrollton's gonna come out of this with very good field position at the 46 and on offense when we get back.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow. 3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Welcome back to Sharpsburg here, 9:06 to go for the first half, and it's, I guess, time for story time with me. John Small, you know his time as a coach here in the Atlanta area, South Gwinnett, now at East Coweta. His time in Atlanta and ties to Atlanta go back a generation. Let me show you a picture. This is John Small Sr., pride of ARC out of Augusta and Lumberton, North Carolina. 3 years SoCon honorable mention star as a defensive tackle and a linebacker. He was the #1 pick for the Atlanta Falcons, number 12 overall in 1970. 3 years as a Falcon, 2 more as a Detroit Lion. And with his time at the Citadel in South Carolina, Matt, he was given the Order of the Palmetto for extraordinary service to the state of South Carolina. So John Small's ties go to John Small Sr. and the Atlanta Falcons. That is story time with me back upstairs.
It's a great story. Thanks for sharing that, John. His dad got drafted in 1970. He was at the Citadel, had to go to the guardhouse gate to get the phone call to find out he'd been drafted. Things have changed significantly. There was no green room. He was sitting in the barracks and had to go to the guardhouse and say, come get me when they call. And that's how he found out. His dad found out he'd been drafted in the first round by the Atlanta Falcons. How did you find out?
I was home. I decided to get drafted from my hometown of Haines City, Florida, and sitting by the phone. Actually, I was on the phone with the Miami Dolphins. And at that time, my mom never had call waiting until the draft, and the LA Rams beeped in, and I clicked over. And that's how it all happened.
And that was the start of a 15-year career in the National Football League.
Nice job once again running between the tackles there. Very impressed with the running ability, with the kind of size. Only 175 Kamari Farmer. You can see in this first half that Coach King and this offense are committed to getting him involved and trying to wear down this defense.
Farmer 42 yards rushing on 12 carries already in this game. Lewis going for the home run, and it's caught inside the 5. Kofor with the touchdown for Carrollton.
Kyon Kofor, the junior, just part of so much talent. I know we talk about Odom, we talk about how Farmer has stepped in for Bryce Hicks. This young man is an explosive athlete right here. Great protection. Look at that pocket to throw that ball from that young sophomore Lewis. Dropping it in the bucket there. Good footwork, great arm. Watch how he drops this right in there, hitting Kofor in stride for the big touchdown.
Second touchdown catch of the season for Kofor, and that's touchdown pass number 20 now for Juju Lewis, and his second of the game, and a beautiful rainbow shot coming out of the sky. And the PAT is up and good, and a 14-0 lead for Carrollton. So after being shut out in the first quarter, Carrollton has now scored 2 touchdowns here in the opening 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. As you take a look at the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive, 3 plays and 54 yards. The last touchdown drive took nearly 5 minutes. This one took 67 seconds.
17 plays the last time around, 3 plays this time, and that's why this offense is so explosive and only going to get better. They have that ability now with being able to run, and they had that with Bryce Hicks. That's what makes them dangerous. Even when you look at Juju Lewis's number, you feel like Hicks being in there makes that number jump a little more. But the growth of Farmer and the big playability of these receivers that they have, it could be feast or famine. They can draw you in with the run and then hit you over top just like that with Kyon Kofor down the field.
Kickoff by Hernandez is coming down at the 7. And the return by Chance Gilbert, I believe it was on the return. Nope, maybe it was Deontay Jones. It was Deontay Jones on the return, and that's where the Indians will go on offense here in the second quarter. As we take a look at the East Coweta resume, it's presented by DBHDD. Best finish came in 2002, when they reached the state semifinals, they have 4 region titles, 32 all-time playoff berths. Their all-time winningest coach, the legendary Danny Chronic. The program started in 1967. So 1st and 10. Short gain on the play. Indians now going to have to start getting some offense going here. Darrell Thompson on the carry, his 2nd carry of the ball game.
Undersized defense in Carrollton, but the one thing that this team is very athletic defensively. There's no defensive line, no seniors in that group. They're young. They know how to play with leverage. They get off for tackles. Nice job there by Kelly and Wolf making that play.
Wayne, basically the same defensive line that got them to the state finals last year when they were sophomores.
It was the same crew, Levy and Ricks inside.
The snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And John Small's team averaging just under 33 points per game, having some trouble getting their offense going tonight. Only 2 first downs. 0 passing yards and 34 rushing yards. Gonna try again, and it's dropped. Thrown behind Horsley, and it's gonna be 3rd down. Let's check in with John Nelson.
Matt just spent some time listening to the defensive coaches for East Coweta. They're trying to remind their players it's a long game. Yes, Juju Lewis just had a drive that lasted a minute, but it's a long game, plenty of time to focus on getting back in this game from a defensive standpoint and holding Carrollton like they did for that first quarter or so.
You know, a year ago, in the game they lost 38-28, they stopped Carrollton on their first 4 drives, and then they had a costly turnover that kind of opened up the floodgates. Ended up being a 5-turnover night, and even with the 5 turnovers, they still only lost by 10. But no turnovers so far tonight, but Carrollton's starting to stretch out the lead here. It's up 14-0. 3rd down and long for the Indians. Horsley in motion behind the line. Going to set up a screen pass. Deontay Jones going to get stuck at the 22-yard line by the Duke commit, Montrez Smith.
Just not good timing here on this screen. As you can see, getting lost in the action there, getting it to Jones, but giving a player like a Montrez Smith way too much time to make that read, coming up and make the play right there. Montrez Smith listed at a linebacker, headed to Duke with his size around 6 feet, 195. You wonder where you find him at strong safety at the next level.
Got Duke coaches here watching him tonight. Belden on the punt again. Gonna hit at the 46. And it's gonna roll dead at the 32. And that's where Carrollton's going to go back on offense, up 2 scores with 6:42 to play in the half.
We've seen this Carrollton offense move the ball running, and now the last couple of plays, big touchdown to White and then to Kyon Hofer. Right now they seem to be, whatever they dial up, they're having success. This Coweta defense is going to have to make some plays. You're going to have to get a little more pressure and make sure as you're bringing that pressure to keep Juju Lewis in the pocket.
Last time he was on GPB last December, he threw for a state record 531 yards in the state championship game as a 9th grader. Ball goes to Odom. Actually, that's Mosley. Mosley down the sideline, going to outrun everybody for the touchdown.
So dangerous in the receiving core. Ryan Mosley, part of that sophomore class with Farmer and Juju Lewis. You'll just imagine. We haven't mentioned Christian Ward. We just have so many talented offensive players here, just making one man miss out on the edge. This is what they like to create, that ability of just getting one-on-one matchups right there out on the edge, just making one man miss and then showing the speed. There is Mosley.
Mosley, the sophomore, been offered by Washington State, Arkansas State, and Texas A&M, as Carrollton has now opened up a 3-touchdown lead. Hernandez with the PAT. Juju Lewis, this was one of his easier throws. Mosley slips one tackle, and then it's a foot race that he's going to win easily.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
Today's conservation-minded consumer cares about where their energy comes from. Your local EMC cares too. Georgia's electric membership cooperatives offer renewable options for our members. In fact, our solar portfolio will produce enough clean energy to power more than 180,000 households, striving to move the needle toward progress and position communities for the future. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
All right, what do you think, Jasper?
Honestly, I think that polyester shirt's affecting your game.
What?
I think cotton would have been a better choice.
Cotton?
Yeah, it's come a long way, you know. Nowadays, cotton breathes and makes moisture great. Plus, buying cotton means supporting Georgia farmers. I think that's wonderful.
Okay, sure, but what do you think about the putt?
Oh, guess really hadn't thought about it.
At TELUS Science Museum, the magic of discovery is larger than life. With tons of interactive exhibits and stunning visuals, come experience the magic of TELUS.
Welcome back to Garland Shoemake Stadium. It is a soggy night here in Sharpsburg, but Carrollton isn't affected at all. Trojans leading 21-0 over East Coweta in the second quarter. Coming up in just a few minutes on the Regions Halftime Show, we will have this week's nominees for the Make That Kid an Offer segment. We will have the You Save It Pharmacy Georgia Player Spotlight, as well as talk to the principal about Pink Out Night for breast cancer awareness. There was a flyover before the game by the Falcon RV Squadron, and he was in one of those planes, so I'm excited to hear his perspective on that, guys. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Hannah. It did rain here twice. It rained about 5:30, rained pretty hard, and then rained again about 7 o'clock, again pretty hard, but briefly, but it was a hard rain for about 5-10 minutes. But we've seen no residual from that in regard to the ball slipping out of anybody's hands, at least not yet. And the ball's going to go out of bounds on the pooch kick to the far sideline.
Couldn't really tell if they were trying some kind of onside play right there to get the ball
Free
back.
kick infraction, kicking team. East Coweta has elected to take it 5 yards from the out-of-bounds spot, first down.
So they got it at the, I think 48's where they're going to spot this thing. The 47 is where they're going to spot it. So good field position for East Coweta. They could use some help. Only 2 first downs so far in this game. 34 yards rushing, still don't have any yards passing. Actually, they have officially 1 yard passing in the game.
Their job on this drive is to put a couple of plays together, get a couple of first downs, and mainly stay out of 3rd and long. What has been killing them is they've been in 3rd and 8+ consistently tonight.
Deontay Jones gets shoved out of bounds by Jay Hagan, the corner, but a nice pickup for Jones on the first snap of this drive.
4 or 5 yards here coming off the edge for Jones. Very capable back getting to the outside. Physical tackle there at the end by Jay Hagan, number 2, to get him out of bounds. But this is the down and distance you want to be in. It's 2nd and 5. Put another positive play. No penalties, positive yards, create 3rd and short, if not get the first down.
2nd down and 5. Handoff goes to Jones again. He gets swallowed up right there at the line of scrimmage by Jacob Levy. National Heavyweight Wrestling Championship, won the championship in Fargo, North Dakota.
Not just in the movie Fargo. This actually is a place, young man right there, as his coach talked about, maybe the strongest player that's ever been through the program. 5'11", 235. That's typically linebacker. He's playing D-line at that size. Him and his partner, Jacob Ricks, on the other side.
3rd down and 4. Levy has a team-leading 12 TFL on the season. Play action. And Peoples going to run for the first down. Good job by Peoples to feel the pressure and get out of there and get past the sticks.
Good job of creating third and manageable. Didn't like the slant, felt the pressure off the edge there by Riggs. Athletic enough, Peoples to get that first down, and a big needed first down for this offense to start trying to build some confidence.
Peoples got beat out by Christian Langford last year for the starting job. Didn't like it, but stood in there, faced the adversity, going deep here, and it's going to be caught at the goal line for a touchdown. Horsley comes back to get it. The ball was underthrown, and Deshaun Horsley comes back to get it for the touchdown.
One-on-one out on the edge against Calvin Hill. You expect Hill to make a play. This time, Horsley at 6 feet 180, making a play on the ball, getting underneath Hill. Good job, good pocket, loading that gun to throw the ball there is Cohen Peoples, airing it out, giving his receiver a chance. A well-needed big play for this offense.
Belden with the PAT, and it's 21-7.
As you can see, airing it out, he noticed the matchup. That's what you want, a big player, big play ability like Horsley. Find that one-on-one matchup with the corner, give him a chance, keep the ball high, and a nice job of him adjusting to the football.
Team leading 9th touchdown for Deshaun Horsley. Number 11 in 7A, number 3 in the region. And as I was saying, Peoples got beat out last year, didn't like it, but Coach Small said he didn't fracture the locker room, didn't hang his head and sulk. He stuck with the program, came back this year, and then when Langford transferred out, People is the starting quarterback after all.
And so that was the biggest part of why he has fallen in love with Cohen Peoples, that he took care of the locker room. He's a great guy. He showed leadership in getting in there. He's more than a game manager. He has some talent, and he's trying to lead this team, and he already has them at 5-1. Big time play right there for that offense to get some momentum for their team.
Short kick coming down at the 31-yard line. Jordan White, the tight end, with the catch and run up to the 39, 38. That's where Carrollton's going to go on offense. So let's take a look at the Carrollton Trojans resume. It's brought to you by DBH DD. 7-time state champions. Haven't won one, though, since 1998. 14 state finals, including last December. 24 state semifinal or quarterfinal finishes. 32 region titles. The program started in 1909. Haven't played continuously every year. This is the 96th year of the program. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids. DBH DD. So 1st and 10, ball at the 38. Handoff goes to Kamari Farmer, and the ball is out. East Coweta's got it. Fumble recovery for the Indians as Malachi Duggar comes up with the loose ball.
We talked about Kamari Farmer running behind his pads in the middle of the defense. This time, same play in the middle. Ball just coming out right there as the D lineman comes down, knocks the ball out, as you can see, coming off of his right side, just hustling down to get into the play. And Duggar coming up with the ball at the end. Momentum is definitely one of those things that can change fast. And with the big play last drive, Peoples the Horsley. Now one play offensively for Carrollton, and the Indians are back in business on offense.
That's just the second fumble that Carrollton has lost this season. Ball goes to Horsley. Horsley down inside the 30-yard line. Actually going to spot him out at about the 30. Deshaun Horsley, who has been a big-time wide receiver.
Just a little bubble screen out on the edge. Good blocking there by his teammate, Grinchitown, number 9, to spring him free. What a big-time player Horsley is.
He had 4 touchdowns on 5 catches, over 200 yards receiving in their win at Lowndes. Ball goes back to Horsley again. This time he's going to be stopped in his tracks as Jaden Thompson, the safety, comes up to make the tackle.
Same play, different motion there. This time P.J. Clinton, the tight end, going out to try to kick out block. Still trying to get the ball to Horsley. As you can see, 83 this time trying to secure the block. Not able to do it as well as the last play. But they want to get the ball to this Deshaun Horsley. He's their big-time player. When you come into this game, almost 36 yards a catch. He is the guy you want the ball in his hands.
And averaging over 107 receiving yards per game. Now, apparently, we have a penalty on the play as East Coweta is retreating. Seems like it was an illegal procedure call, so that backs him up to the 35, 1st and 15. Play action. Peoples directing traffic, going for a home run throw in the end zone, and nearly intercepted by Kelvin Hill.
Jay Hagan, number 2, running step for step with the receiver. Just really nowhere to go with this ball for Peoples. He aired it out to the end zone. But receiver really feeling the pressure, just never really was open. Jay Hagan came in, stepped underneath. His buddy back there, Calvin Hill, undercut him trying to get the interception, but you can see the 2 white jerseys right there on the spot.
Elijah Farrell was the intended target. He needs to come back and fight for that ball a little bit, doesn't he, Wayne?
Definitely needs to come back and try to knock it down so it's not intercepted. At least try to do that for his quarterback.
Peoples is going to be tackled. Looked like he was going to get away for a moment, but could not escape the grasp of Landon Wolf, the linebacker.
28 been in a lot of plays tonight. Landon Wolf, only a junior, as we talked about. Brody Bradburn coming back, but you can see right now they're both in there. That's the kind of player he is in that inside linebacker position. Bradburn being back allows those 2 to play inside. Put Montrez Smith out on the edge, let him rush the passer as well.
Up top again, and it's going to be caught at the 5-yard line. How about that? Walter Maestri comes up with a jump ball catch inside the 10-yard line.
Nice job, Cohen. People knows he's going to get hit by the D lineman. This time again, throwing the ball out there, keeping it high. Nice by Maestri. Nice job of going up at the high point and bringing that ball down. As coach said, his nickname is Miami right there. He definitely big-time play, a city-type play by Maestri.
Just a freshman and just his 5th catch of the season. Handoff goes Deontay Jones. He was able to avoid the TFL and then get stonewalled at the line of scrimmage by Bradburn and the rest.
Good job of Jones getting out of that tackle there of Smith, just to kind of get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Big pressure off the edge by Smith. His big offensive line. You have athletic, smaller D linemen that like to swim and shoot gaps, a lot of movement. Cut down on your splits. That cuts down the space that they have to slip through. Just want to get behind your pads, make some room for your running back.
Darrell Thompson is now in there at running back. He's going to get the handoff, and Darrell Thompson scores, but this is coming back.
You get a false start down here at the bottom of your screen. Deshaun Horsley.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, still 2nd down.
Just movement before the snap by Horsley out on the edge. Killing some of the momentum, but as you said, the bigger back is in there, Thompson.
Last 2 drives, 9 plays, 90 yards. They've been able to run some clock here, too. Jump ball for Horsley and broken up. Horsley and Hill having a real battle tonight, and that time Hill won it. It's going to be 3rd down.
Calvin Hill, the dog, the big hitter. He's going to compete out there, number 8. He sees the ball, and this is just about fighting for this ball right there. Not a big difference listed on the height chart. Hill is about 5'10". Horsley listed at 5'11", but on the field, it does seem like a big size advantage by Horsley out on the edge.
3rd down and goal from the 10. Hill committed to UAB over the summer. Gonna run a pass out here. Oh my goodness, and Hill comes up big. Stonewalls the receiver, Deontay Jones, and Kelvin Hill showing why he's one of the top cornerbacks in the state.
Nice job here of reading this here by Montrez Smith. Watch number 6 come in and get him some right there, the Duke commit.
Yeah, that was Smith, pardon me.
Making a play from that inside backer position. And that's what I said earlier. He's that guy that at that next level at Duke. Won't be surprised to see him at safety.
29-yard kick for Belden from the right hash. Kick is on its way. Did he get it in there? He did. 29-yard field goal for Brock Belden, his 14th career field goal. And it's 21-10. East Coweta going to be happy to get at least 3, but that's a shame because they had a chance to get a touchdown there. But they're back in the game with the field goal. Let's check in with John Nelson. Let's check out some scores from around the state.
Yep, our game at the half on the web is 34-21. Langston Hughes scores a touchdown right at the death of the first half to take a 13-point lead. You can catch that at gpb.org/sports, brought to us by our friends at Breda Pest Management. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of high school football. Some scores around the state. Fitzgerald needs a win in region play. They're leading right now. Also, Bleckley leading Dublin in a big game down in Middle Georgia, and a surprise on the coast. Richmond Hill leading Camden County second quarter, Matt, 21-7. Send it back up to you.
Yeah, that is a big one right there. That would kind of shake up the standings in that Region 1 7A, where the Wintersville Classic's being played tonight as well. I know, John, you'll be keeping up with that Valdosta Lowndes game. Traditionally one of the big games on the schedule in the state of Georgia. Sky ball kick going to be taken by Odom. He did not fair catch it, or did he? They're going to say that he did, and they're going to blow the play dead. I didn't see him fair catch it, though.
Jordan White, the tight end, 87, did throw up the fair catch signal
as though he was going to,
and Odom caught the ball.
Fair catch was called on the play, first down.
So you're right, Matt. Caleb Odom did not call fair catch. Jordan White did.
And Juju Lewis getting ready to lead this Trojans offense back out there. How about his performance tonight? Just a routine 8 of 14 for 195 and 3 touchdowns in the first half.
137, 3 timeouts. Juju Lewis in this offense, you expect they're going to be very aggressive here on this drive. They have those kind of playmakers that they've seen that one miss and they could be in the end zone. So you expect they're going to spread them out and throw this ball.
Farmer goes in motion. Lewis looks his way, steps up, scrambling, keeps the play alive, and throws, and nearly intercepted at the 40-yard line by Jalen Thornton.
I think we're going to get a late holding call back here on Zakai Holton, number 52, at the end of that play. Came in late. Great job of avoiding the rush there by Lewis, keeping his head up.
Blindside block.
Blindside block on Holton as the quarterback was escaping the pocket, trying to protect his quarterback.
So watch 52, Zakai Helton, the sophomore who's already committed
Personal
to
foul.
Alabama.
Illegal blindside block. Offense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
Sometimes plays are maybe just called by the angle. From the angle that we see from here, just looks like he's trying to protect his quarterback. It does fall in the parameters of blindside block. But the defender was chasing his quarterback, but number 52, what a bright future. I just love how Coach King said he slimmed down to 320. That was one of the funniest things. But a heck of a player, only a sophomore, 6'2", 320 in the middle.
Committed to Alabama on July 9th over 7 other offers, including Auburn, Georgia, and Penn State. In the middle, caught at the 42. That's Mosley again. Mosley showing us something here tonight. Already has a 68-yard catch and run. Sophomore having a big 10th grade campaign. Back up quickly. They go to number 1, Kyan Kofer, who had a touchdown catch earlier in this quarter.
3 timeouts, plenty of time to get this ball down the field. Juju Lewis, as you can see, hitting Kofer right there just to pick that first down, get him a fresh set of downs on this drive.
Lewis is headed towards a 400-yard passing game. Ball complete to White. Jordan White splits the defense. Touchdown, Carrollton.
Jordan White coming up with another big play. What a burst of speed by this tight end right there. Once he got the ball in his hands, the defense had no chance. Malachi Duggar, number 20, trying to cover him out of the slot, coming clean. And then just another gear there by Jordan White for the big touchdown. Wow, here. Nice read by Juju, barely getting to his back foot, delivering the ball. And look at the speed there, Jordan White. Not sure that the defense expected that kind of burst of speed by him either.
6'3", 225 pounds, a senior. That's his second touchdown catch of the night. He's gone over 600 yards receiving for his career with his performance tonight. And I'm looking at this young man, 9 offers, Kent State, and I'm wondering, why aren't there more? He's impressive.
He has height, he has size. We've seen him make a big catch on his post route for a touchdown right there. As a tight end, when you have the ability to run 45, 50-yard touchdowns, what a great half he's had for his quarterback. He's working out of the slot here. Juju sees the pressure, makes the read. Confident catch there by White. He felt very confident that he had the speed. Typically after about 15 yards, tight ends start turning around looking for people to grab them. Mr. White put his shoulders back and ran and got in for the touchdown.
Yeah, he left the Indians in the dust. If this artificial turf service had any dust, he left them with rubber pebbles flying off his feet. Ball coming down at the 13-yard line. Returned by Deontay Jones up to the 26, and that's where East Coweta goes back on offense. 45 seconds to play in the half. They do have all 3 timeouts, so they've got some time and some timeouts to work with here if they elect to try to get some more points on the board.
This kind of drive in a 2-minute situation, the offense has moved with a big play. It hasn't shown consistency to be able to throw the ball. It's always about the first play. If you get 8-10 yards to get the drive going, that's when you continue right here by Cohen Peoples.
Setting up a screen and nearly intercepted. We're going to have a holding call, I believe, on Carrollton. They had the intended target, Deontay Jones, wrapped up so he couldn't run his route.
C.J. Kelly, the DN, I want to say he read the screen and grabbed Jones, wouldn't let him get into the play here. Right here on the edge. He sees Jones. He feels like the tackle right there is grabbing him, so he reached out to grab Jones. And you just can't do that if you're C.J. Kelly. How long before we see Juju in a Troy Polamalu shampoo commercial with all that beautiful hair he has right there?
Still first down.
I would say it's a strong possibility now that the Georgia High School Association this week approved NIL, name, image, and likeness for Georgia high school football players. I think that would be a good sponsor for him.
It looks great on him. I mean, it's right there, natural. Looks like he's doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So great hair there, Juju.
Yeah. No doubt. Great quarterback, great hair. And ball is out. Picked up by Smith. No whistle. That's a touchdown for Carrollton.
We've talked about with Brody Bradburn being back, London Wolf being able to play in the middle alongside him. Montrez Smith able to come off the edge, get him more in rushing the passer this time, getting the strip sack ball out of Coin Peoples' hands. Watch number 6 coming to your screen. Great tackle. Didn't realize the ball was out. Realized it was on the ground. Figured he would get his own touchdown. Montrez Smith, the 3-star Duke commit. What a player he is for Coach King and this Trojan defense.
And with the Duke Blue Devil coaches here in attendance, he's reminding them why they recruited him so heavily. Montrez Smith, quarterback sack, strip, scoop and score, 34-10 Carrollton. And it is now 35-10 as Hernandez pumps it through. Montrez Smith committed to Duke on June 11th. Over 21 other offers.
Just great job of staying high, not letting Coin People escape the pocket. Having the instinct to get back on his feet, saw the ball on the ground. Didn't waste any time getting the ball and running into the end zone. What a heck of a career he's had with the Trojans. Just one of those players, relentless, dominant type. Really makes that defense work.
Picked the Blue Devils over Boston College and West Virginia. Highest ranking, ESPN ranks him the number 23 linebacker in the class of 2024. And experts are asking, is this the best Duke recruiting class ever? The momentum they have built in that program, starting with the season opening victory over Clemson. Squib kick going to bounce high and scooped at the 22. And Horsley goes down at the 30. And that's the big Horsley, the cousin Horsley, Tyler Horsley. They got 3 Horsleys on the roster. Darion and Deshaun are brothers and Tyler's big cousin.
Really, you don't really want your nose tackle Tyler to be running around with the ball. You can see the big smile on his face.
Well, he does have 1 rushing touchdown this season. So.
Great job of him fielding that ball, though. Great job. Shows you the kind of athleticism that he has.
Looks like the rain has subsided again just a few moments ago. Another brief rain shower here south of Atlanta. Now they're going to keep it on the ground and just try to get to the locker room and regroup. And that might be the final play of the first half.
Big time defensive play to end this half for Carrollton with the explosive offense in that first quarter and a half. Got to think about a couple of things, Coach Smalls, and how he's going to get this offense going in the second half. They made some big plays down the field to get on the board, but really haven't had a consistent offensive drive in that first half.
Yeah, East Coweta looked like they were getting back in the ball game. They had the big play for the touchdown, had to settle for a field goal, and then Carrollton bangs them for 2 quick touchdowns in the final minute of this second quarter to take a 35-10 lead at halftime. Tonight's Coach's Interview is brought to you by Johnny's New York Style Pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria.
Thank you very much, Matt. Down here with Joey King. I guess if there was a word to kind of describe the first half, at least offensively for me, it would be aggressive, because you had the chance to kick 3, you go for it on 4th down, you get the score, and then you end up with another drive that only takes 1:07.
Yeah, well, we missed the field goal to put the possession before that, or 2 possessions before that earlier in the game. I think offensively we kind of gathered ourselves after a slow start, and then defense has been playing great. Gave up 2 big plays, which we said that's what we had to limit. So we gave up 2 big plays, and they did a good job taking advantage of them.
And at the same time, you clamped down in that last minute to get 2 scores to put this distance between you at the end of the first half.
That was big. You know, we talk about the middle 8 minutes of the game, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. I think we had a good showing those last 4 minutes. Hopefully we can do the same to start the half.
Thanks, Joey.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jay.
Joey's got a hike, and he's going to catch up with his team. It is halftime here in Sharpsburg, 35-10. The score coming up around the corner. It is the region's halftime show. Hannah Gooden with all the news around the state. We promise halftime coming up in just a little bit here on the great GPB.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You may notice pink ribbons, products, even pink football uniforms. I'm wearing my pink. Patty Nuzzo, Cigna Healthcare Sales Manager, is here to talk to women and the people who love them about taking action to ensure breast health. Patty, how can viewers ensure their own breast health?
Hannah, this is so important. Breast cancer is the second most common form of cancer in women next to skin cancer. 1 in 8 women in Georgia will get breast cancer.
Patty, what are some of the risk factors for breast cancer?
Well, there are 2 types of factors. One you can change, one you can't. The ones you can't change are your age, there's dense breast tissue, you can't change that, or genetics and family history. That's difficult, you have to be aware. The ones you can change, exercise, obesity and weight, and stop smoking. You know, there's some common things that you can change.
Yeah, that's a big one. How can women protect themselves and help prevent breast cancer?
Well, that's easy. We encourage everybody to get an annual exam. That's the first thing you do. You can go back to your doctor, get an annual exam. There's different age limits. Talk to your doctor about an age limit that's good for you. Most will start at 45. Some will start younger than that. And then eat well, healthy, get lots of rest and exercise.
Yeah, get that exam once a year. Patty, thank you so much for this information. It's so important. If you would like to learn more about breast health awareness, please visit Cigna.com. Welcome to the Halftime Show, presented by Regions. Get back in the game with Regions Bank. I'm Hannah Gooden. We are live from Garland Shoemake Stadium for Carrollton versus East Coweta. And I was getting that score for you right there. Trojans up 35-10. There are 6 players on the field tonight that are committed to D1 schools, including Carrollton QB Juju Lewis. What about the players that are overlooked when it comes to recruiting, though? Here are this week's nominees for Make That Kid an Offer. This week we start with Jonesboro senior wide receiver Montez Redding. Last Friday he broke the single game reception record with 10 catches for 301 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's described as having crazy athleticism and is a passionate leader. Somebody make this kid an offer. Next up is Spalding senior quarterback Curtavian Clark. This season he's accounted for 900 yards and 11 touchdowns through the air and 600 yards with 5 TDs on the ground. Last season he notched over 1,700 yards passing and 14 touchdowns. He's also an all-state basketball player and runs track. And North Paulding senior athlete Jaden Clayton needs an offer. He currently averages 9 yards per carry and has 240 yards with 4 touchdowns through 4 games this season. He was named the Freshman Player of the Year and MVP twice during his sophomore and junior seasons. Follow us on social media at GPB Sports to see how you can get nominated next week. All right, it's time to take a look around the rest of the state on Georgia's EMC scoreboard. Georgia's EMCs, it's so much more than electricity. At the Bear Den in Waynesboro, Benedictine up over Burke County right now, 31-7 at the half. Then at the Shamrock Bowl, Bleckley County only leading Dublin by a score, 14-7. That one's at the half as well. It's the Wintersville Classic, which is also an amazing game. Valdosta only up by 1 point over rival Lowndes. That one's in the second. One of the biggest games of the night in 7A is also a close one-score game. North Cobb leading Walton 21-14 in the second. Our second page of scores, Calhoun leading Hiram 24-14 in the second. Clinch County up over Lanier 14-3 in the second. Toombs County leading Appling County. That's one I've had my eye on, 17-7 in the second. And then our web game, Langston Hughes pulling away just a little from East Paulding, 34-21 at the half. Wiley Ballard on the call. You can watch that one on gbb.org/sports or the GBB Sports app. All right, stick with us. We've got a lot more coming up on the halftime show, including the Georgia Player Spotlight brought to you by You Save It Pharmacy next.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow. 3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
The importance of Joshua's Law is that we give our young drivers in the state of Georgia classroom experience with a trained instructor to stress to them how dangerous driving can be and how important driving is to our everyday lives, that we have to do it, but do it safely. We're looking for the center of the car to get in that corner of the spot, and we're going to stop. When we're driving, we never want to affect other drivers. So I tell them at a stop sign, don't pull out if you're going to affect that other person. So let's go up to the stoplight there. Make sure we're good left and right. Continue on. If I ask myself that question every time I drive, then the traffic flow never stops. Everybody's safe. Everybody can get to where they're going safely. We need to know the speed limit of the roadway. What is it? 45. 45, good job. The importance of coming to a driver's education program is invaluable. But in my opinion, the most important thing is that the parent gets out and works with that child. That one-on-one training and giving experience is really where we learn how to drive. I would rather experience that with my child so I can coach them through it before they experience it on their own without me being there. It's very important to me as a father and as an instructor. Great job. Great job.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't eat another bite.
So why are you eyeballing my plate?
You caught me. Oh, I forgot, I got you something.
Babe, you didn't have to get me anything.
I didn't have to, but I wanted to.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect! How did you know?
Seatbelts.
for every occasion.
I cannot wait to tell everyone that we are engaged.
Wait, what?
Welcome back. It's time for the Georgia Player Spotlight, brought to you by You Save It Pharmacy. This week we are highlighting Griffin senior guard Zamaya Hosley. She's a scholar athlete, and she's a big reason why the Lady Bears won the state championship this year. Here's her story.
Zamaya, she's my point guard, but she's also like my silent killer. You know, she doesn't need all the hoopla, all the accolades and everything. She just does her job, but she does it with a tenacity that nobody would know.
Coming in high school, my dream was to always win the state championship game.
Hit one of the biggest shots that we needed at the time and did it without, you know, she didn't jump around, oh yeah, I did this. No, she still had that face like, I'm supposed to be here.
Hosley is also a leader in the community. She helped clean up her town of Griffin after 5 tornadoes hit in one day, as well as many other acts of service. What a great athlete, and another awesome spotlight by You Save It Pharmacy. Okay, coming up next, we're talking all things Pink Out, all things East Coweta with the principal. Stick with us.
This November.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
In lively towns and peaceful rural areas, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are on a mission to provide a different kind of electricity. Our not-for-profit, member-owned EMCs are focused on making life better for members. At private residences, farms, and thriving businesses, we work for you. Generating safe, reliable, affordable electricity, giving back to local programs, serving our members to make life brighter. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Jackson EMC and 33 other participating Georgia Electric membership cooperatives congratulate Duluth High School on winning the GHSA Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. This award honors schools that exhibit exemplary sportsmanship during competitive events. Only one school in each region, in each classification, is chosen to receive this annual award. The GHSA takes into consideration all aspects of sportsmanship, making the award a tribute to the entire community.
Jackson EMC is so honored and blessed to present this award to them, the Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. We are so happy for the student body and the kids.
Introduced in 2006, this award reinforces the GHSA's philosophy that everyone associated with high school activities, from athletes to spectators, should adhere to the fundamental values it represents.
We have a student leadership group that meets during lunches and get to go thank those 80 kids again, even today, just for their leadership and helping us out with their eyes and ears on the ground, and it's just great to be here.
We've come from like down low for real, and being able to be up there and get recognition, it means a lot. It means a lot, especially to the community, because the people love the school.
Georgia's EMCs and the 34 participating Georgia Electric membership cooperatives are proud to sponsor the Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. Congratulations to the Duluth High School community.
Welcome back to Garland Shoemake Stadium. It's halftime between Carrollton and East Coweta. I'm here with Indians principal Stephen Allen, who said I could call him the Chief. The Chief. Tonight is Pink Out here in you were in the plane. Shout out to the entire Falcon RV squadron for the beautiful pink out flyover before the game. What was that experience like being up there?
We honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to fly because I was so big, and when I got into the plane, my legs was underneath the pedals. And so I stretched around. I had to hold my left leg the whole time. It was a beautiful run. I mean, for cancer, what do you say? It was an absolute beautiful run. I had a great time.
You said if you were 1 inch taller that you wouldn't have been able to fly.
I held my leg, this left leg, the whole time because it was against the throttle, and I wanted to just juice it up. Tried to get him to do a little, aerobatic, but I couldn't get him to do it tonight. But it was a great thing. We had a band of showers back here behind us that kind of held us off there for a minute. Yeah.
Well, besides that, give us an update on what here is going on in Indian Territory. Tell us about your athletics and your academics and everything.
So I will say this. People that don't know about Coweta County, it's a special place. The school system is far, I would put it up against any school system in the state. East Coweta is a special place. I've been here a long time. We have the best teachers, best staff members. That's why we're so good. And we also have great students. And when you have almost 3,100 kids, and it is such a great place to work, great place to be, not because of me, it's because of our people and our students and our parents. So that's why I contribute to our school too. I mean, great success in the classroom. We've been able to maintain our 90-point GPA, and we're waiting on results for this year. When I said GPA, I'm sorry, graduation rate. And so at that point, you look at all good things, and you can always look at the bad, but you have to look at how many kids come to school each and every day and do exactly what they're supposed to do. That's the good thing.
All right, Chief, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on.
Thank you so much.
We're going to have John come in really quick because we only have a minute left. John, the score 35-10 right now. What do you think about the offense on either side of the ball? I have to say the Carrollton D has also been on point.
Yeah, especially that last minute of the first half. We'll catch up with John Small coming up in just a little bit. By the way, sneak peek just came out on our Twitter account. You remember the flyover that we had as a pregame? It's on our Twitter, so go to @GPB Sports. You can get an inside look from what part of the squadron for the flyover tonight. Very, very cool. Around the state, Washington Wilkes with a lead over Lincoln County in the 378 WAR. Also on the board, Ware County putting up a number on Jenkins. Valdosta and Lowndes, you mentioned that one. Wintersville Classic, we'll have updates on that. A lot of scores, a lot of early region games that matter tonight all around. And you got your scoreboard there? You get your scores?
I did have my scoreboard.
Where is it?
Right there.
All right, I'm going to take that with you. Bye.
All right, John, go get Coach. Thanks, everybody, for watching the Regions Halftime Show. Don't forget to follow us on social media, like John said, to see all the cool things that happened here tonight. Okay, we have a lot more to come here from Sharpsburg. It's Matt, Wayne, John, and myself right after this.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
At TELUS Science Museum, the magic of discovery is larger than life. With tons of interactive exhibits and stunning visuals, come experience the magic of TELUS.
All right, welcome back. Halftime here in Sharpsburg, and third-ranked Carrollton leading East Coweta 35-10. Matt Stewart and Wayne Gandy with you up in the booth. And Wayne, after a scoreless first quarter, all heck broke loose in the second quarter, starting with Juju Lewis in his first touchdown pass of the night.
The big tight end, Jordan White, who shined in that first quarter or second quarter, making the big touchdown right there.
Up top to Kyan Kofer. This is a 44-yarder, 14-0 Carrollton.
Juju Lewis just getting the party started, getting the ball out on the edge to Ryan Mosley for the long touchdown as well.
68-yard sprint, 21-0 Carrollton at that point, but then East Coweta came back with some big plays of their own.
Cohen Peoples getting the ball deep, jump ball there to his man Horsley for the touchdown to get on the board finally.
They got a field goal, made it 21-10. Looked like they're back in the game. Final minute of the first half, and White again on the touchdown toss from Lewis.
The big tight end making big plays for his quarterback in the middle of the field for the long touchdown.
And then the defense, Montrez Smith with the smackdown, scoop and score, 28 yards. And just like that, a 21-10 game became 35-10, just like that, as we are now getting ready for the start of the third quarter. And, you know, Juju is working on an over 500-yard passing game here. It just seems like it's very easy for him, very fluid, 11 of 17, 273, and 4 touchdowns for Juju Lewis. And tonight's coach's interview is brought to you by Johnny's New York-style pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria. Back down to Nelly and Coach John Small.
Thank you very much, Matt. Let's talk to the coach. Scoreless first quarter, and then 45 points on the board. What was your look at your analysis of that second quarter?
Well, I mean, they're a good football team, obviously, and you can't give up big plays to a great football team. We got out of position on a couple things. They made the plays they needed to make, and then we turned the ball over. You know, we had the fumble there right before the half on a misread. The thing is, we're down right now, but, you know, halftime we told them, look, man, you can cry all you want to, but we're about to go out there and show what kind of character we have as young men and how we're going to come back and battle for 24 minutes. And if you show your character the right way, we give ourselves a chance. If you don't, we don't have a chance. So make a decision. Let's go out there and grow up and go back to work.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
35-10, he's got some work to do, and they talked a lot about it. Matt, before we toss it up to you once again, interview brought to us by our friends at Johnny's Pizza. $8,000 tonight for the Pink Posse. 16 years, $35,000, $8,000 more tonight. Very cool.
Super job, and they, you know, it is a big deal here at East Coweta. In fact, Coach John Small tells his players, when you go out and play tonight, you're playing for the survivors and also for those people who did not survive. So kudos to East Coweta High School and what they do for breast cancer awareness and helping out those people who, you know, are hit hard by the financial difficulties that arise from treating that disease. As we take a look at the halftime stats, what jumps out at you, Wayne?
Really the rush yards. You felt like East Coweta to have a chance in that first half. Only 36 yards rushing. We expected Carrollton to air it down the field, so that's not surprising as far as the pass yards for them. But when you look at the game also defensively, Carrollton has 3 sacks. East Coweta has no sacks. Right now they're going to have to go to the air, abandon the run game, and try to score fast.
You know, the last time we had Juju Lewis and Carrollton here on GPB, that was the state championship game last December when he threw for 531. Right now he's on pace to pass by that tonight.
And he's just spreading the ball around, doing what he does when he has time, when he's had to escape the pocket. He's finding guys down the field, just showing you why he is the #1 recruit in his sophomore class. And you have to tip your hat not just to him, but this whole sophomore Carrollton class is producing tonight.
And the amazing thing about it, you look at him, he's not some extraordinary physical specimen. He's just a great quarterback. Return East Coweta out across the 50. Horsley on the return all the way down to the 25, and a big-time return by Darian Horsley to get East Coweta in business here to start this second half.
Just what this team needs, a strike out of the halftime here. Good blocking, big hole right there. And when that kind of speed hits that hole, only the kicker doing his job right there. 86, the kicker, that's all the kicker is on the field for. Jamaica return man have to cut back in, let his defenders run him down. Great job there, though, by Darian Horsley, helping his team out in this offense early on.
He's number 3 in 7A in kick return average, and you saw why just there to get him to the 25-yard line. Let's see if the Indians can cash in quickly. Deontay Jones with a quick run right up the middle down to the 19-yard line, 6 yards on the play, but there is a flag down on the field.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield against the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that has been a big issue with this offense tonight. Just unneeded penalties at the wrong time and get them behind the stick. Not just killing the momentum of the play you just had, but it puts them in a situation. This offense is not really built for long yardage situations. And now, again, on a positive return, starting with a 5-yard penalty.
So gonna back him up here to the 30-yard line, 1st and 15. Hand off, and Deontay Jones struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Just know where to go with the ball off of that right side. Nice job of staying home, keeping his shoulder to the outside. C.J. Gamble, 47. And then Landon Wolf cleaning up this linebacker core. It's very good when you talk about Montrez Smith, Brody Bradburn working his way back.
Gamble with 3 tackles in that first half. That's Gritton in motion behind the line. They have not been able to get him the ball. Heavy rush and a big quarterback sack back at the 40-yard line as Quintez Adams gets his 2nd sack of the night and came unblocked off the edge.
Defining why they call it the blind side, just never saw Quintez Adams coming from his blind side right there. Hitting him in the back, Cohen Peoples. Luckily didn't fumble that ball. That's a lot of times on that kind of direct hit where you don't see the defender, the ball comes out. But nice job coming with the pressure off the edge.
You see Quintez and his numbers this season came in with 1 sack, and he's got 2 tonight. And now it's going to be 3rd and 23. They got to get it to the 15 to pick up a first down here.
You've seen in this situation where Cohen just kind of get back, find a receiver, and rears it out, trying to find that one-on-one matchup.
They took too much time.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
See the frustration right there on Coach Smalls' face. Big return, building off of that energy of halftime to try to get back in the game. This drive along 2 pre-snap penalties.
Yeah, they need to try to cut this distance in half right here because they're going for it on 4th down. If they can cut it in half, they'll go for it on 4th down. Pressure and gets it up top and incomplete. Don't know that I agree with that call right there. I was thinking you cut it in half and try to pick up the first down. Instead, they go for the home run right there. Now they're going to punt.
Yeah, when you don't pick up any yards on the play, Matt, you're exactly right. If you get 15, 20 yards in that situation, it sets up a 4th and 10. Now it's just 4th and forever right there. Throwing in the triple coverage was Peoples trying to find Horsley down the field. Nowhere to fit that ball in.
So Belden standing at his 43. They go backwards and lose 18 yards on that possession. Heavy rush. Belden gets it out of there. And Johnson runs away from it as it bounces out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17 or 18, and that's where Carrollton will go on offense for the first time here in the 3rd quarter, up by 25.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
I've been checking food labels for years. I like to buy local, and I like to buy healthy for my family. So I started checking the labels on our clothes, too. Did you know synthetic fibers like polyester are pretty much made of oil? No thanks. I look for cotton now, which grows right here in Georgia, a major source of the world's cotton. Cotton is natural, renewable, sustainable, and buying cotton supports Georgia farmers. Good enough for me and my family.
(35-10) Carrollton on top of East Coweta as the Trojans get ready to go back on offense for the first time here in the second half. Juju Lewis. You see his numbers last season: 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 22 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions so far this season, with 4 more touchdowns added to his total tonight. 11 of 17 for 273. He has not had an extraordinarily big statistical season thus far. A lot of that has to do with they've been in a lot of blowout wins. Doesn't play a lot in the second half. Lewis being chased and trying to get rid of it. Going to throw it away as Odom was coming back to try to make the catch. And it's going to be second down. And the other is, quite simply, it's really kind of a compliment to him. He's matured as a quarterback. He doesn't force things anymore. He just takes whatever the defense gives him. He's such a cerebral and intelligent quarterback, and one of the big reasons why he's the #1 prospect in the country for 2026.
Willing to work underneath in the coverages and take what the defense gives. He understands that when teams come out, they're going to try to take away the big play. So far in the game, they've kind of taken Caleb Odom away from him, but that has exposed other guys to have big games, as we talked about Jordan White, Kayan, Kofor, and those guys taking advantage of the coverage rolling over to Odom. But that's second year, you can see the cerebral part growing. And even watching Juju, he looks like he might have put on 8 pounds, 10 pounds, looks a little bigger. And we're talking about a kid that just had his 16th birthday, so plenty of time to grow.
Just turned 16 years old 16 days ago. And for his 16th birthday, he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So 3rd down and 5. Farmer 14 carries for 52 yards in the first half. That is completion. And shot out of a cannon, A.J. McNeil. There he goes in a foot race that McNeil is going to win. Touchdown. 41-10 touchdown pass, number 5 for Juju Lewis.
Great play design here by the offensive coordinator, Reggie Perkins. Great job getting the ball out of his hand quickly out to McNeil. Even a better block here, 87, Jordan White. Look at the block he puts on the defender, and then it just becomes a foot race. A.J. McNeil, the junior, not a lot of catches on the season, but this receiving core, explosive, speedy, big, great with the ball in their hand, as you can see all game long.
PAT by Hernandez up and in, 42-10 Carrollton. As Juju Lewis goes up over 300 yards passing now in this game, has 5 touchdowns. A.J. McNeil, however, doing the heavy lifting.
Just a bubble screen out on the edge, getting into your playmaker's hand. Key to that play is that initial block there by the tight end White on the kick out block, getting underneath that block, and then it just becomes a foot race to the end zone that McNeil wins for a big play. Juju Lewis shining once again. This Carrollton offense is so explosive, so many playmakers.
42-10 as Carrollton has blown this game open over the last 5 minutes of game time clock, scoring 3 touchdowns after East Coweta had cut it to 21-10. And Hernandez set to kick it off. Kick coming down at the 2. Returned by Jones. And Deontay Jones up to the 24. Montrez Smith, who had the 28-yard scoop and score. He was in on that special teams tackle. As the Indians go back on offense with a lot of ground to make up here and 8 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And as an offense, you got to turn off the eyes looking at the scoreboard. We need to put a drive together. It's something that this offense has not done tonight. Yes, they have 10 points on the board. Yes, they've made a couple of big catches down the field. But they have not really just taken the Carrollton, taken the ball 8, 10, 12 plays and driven it consistently.
So 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Thompson. Darrell Thompson, who had 3 carries for 6 yards in the first half, gets his first carry of the second half.
5'11", 205. Darrell Thompson, they call him the Punisher. He gets in, he's a physical runner, downhill, one cut. Coach Small says he's the kind of guy that tries to run into everything he sees as he's carrying the ball.
Ball goes on the edge to Horsley, who had the big touchdown catch in the first half.
Nice job there of Calvin Hill getting off the block. Grittian out on the edge and making that play. You've seen them go with that little wide receiver screen out to Horsley consistently tonight. He is their playmaker on on offense for them.
Incomplete. Brings up 4th down and 5, and another punting situation for the Indians as Belden trots on the field.
Good job again for the Trojans, creating 3rd and 5+ consistently tonight. Just this offense of the Indians just not been able to overcome 3rd down.
Punt by Belden, gonna hit at the 43 and roll dead at the 31. And that's where Carrollton goes back on offense when we get back with under 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Every game day celebration, every championship title begins here with hours of unseen work. As part of our commitment to education, Georgia's EMCs support the young athletes who play high school sports in the communities we serve, empowering talent with scholarships, honoring sportsmanship, saluting the game changers. When we champion the energy behind the scenes, they can step into their future and shine. Georgia's EMCs, official energy provider of the GHSA.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Welcome back to Sharpsburg, closing in on the halfway point of the third quarter. Remember, every football Friday night here in Georgia is a multi-screen experience. We'll let you peek in Dallas, Georgia. Wiley Ballard on the bark for us tonight. They have 3 quarters in the books. It is Langston Hughes driving with a 19-point lead as they are getting ready to try to really put some distance between themselves and East Paulding. They had a score that was called back by a penalty. They've had another penalty, so the drive's kind of stalling here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Aaron Oland in Dallas up 19 as they start the fourth quarter. GPB.org/sports. Brought to us by our friends at Breda Pest Management. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control mat of high school football. Back to you.
Indeed it is. Thank you, Nelly. And that's a big game because East Paulding was already 2-0 in the region. And Langston Hughes had to win to stay alive in the region race because they got upset by Douglas County earlier in the year. So they're going to need someone to knock off Douglas County. In fact, Douglas County is going to have to lose twice for Langston Hughes to repeat as region champs. Kofor around the edge. Touchdown, Carrollton.
Kyan Kofor, big touchdown catch down the field earlier. This time, just a little jet sweep action, pitch him the ball. Not sure if this goes in the books as a pass right here. It is in front of him to give the ball off to Kofor. And then it's just about, we talked about this young man and his athletic ability, a great explosive athlete, 5'10", 180 junior. What a big play by him.
Second touchdown of the night for Kyan Kofor, who Coach Joey King said was probably a little disappointed with the number of touches that he had in the first 6 games of the season. Well, he's got to be happy tonight. A big 44-yard touchdown reception, now a big touchdown run for Kofor.
Coach King talked about starting to get Kofor a little more involved. He can get lost in this system when you talk about Odom and Mosley. We saw with McNeil, but Kofor, a very dangerous slot receiver, one of those guys that just need the ball in his hands, and you can see the kind of speed he possesses, just outrunning angles for that touchdown.
So 49-10, Carrollton blowing this thing open here in the third quarter. It was scoreless after 1 quarter. And at one point, East Coweta had cut it to 21-10. Actually looked like they had a great chance to make it 21-14, settled for a field goal, and they've been settling on watching the back of Carrollton's jerseys ever since.
Just not able to consistently put drives together. Had a couple of big shots that they made. And defensively, they just seem very confused on that side of the ball. This team speed of Carrollton is really, really throwing them off.
Kick taken at the goal line. And can't tippy-toe when you come up in there because that's what happens. That was Gilbert on the return as he didn't make it back to the 20. Stopped at the 17 with his forward progress.
Indians offense, same game plan as before. It's not about the score right now. It's about putting a drive or two, starting to try to figure out some confidence. We thought this big offensive line, as we highlighted, close to 300 pounds, was going to just be able to mash on the smaller D-line of the Trojans. That hasn't come true here tonight. They found themselves on a lot of 2nd and 3rd and longs, even 1st and 15 a handful of times tonight with the penalties.
During the return, holding against the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Yeah, and that offensive line has given up
4
quarterback sacks tonight.
Penalties enforced from the end of the run.
So that's going to push the ball back to the 9-yard line for East Coweta. Zach Clayton, over 30 offers, including Georgia State, Troy, and Georgia Southern. Just been a tough night for that East Coweta offensive line. So back on offense they go, inside their own 10. Right up the middle. Foot race. This might be a long 90-plus yard touchdown run for Deontay Jones, and it will be.
Great job there in the middle this time. Cortland Hurd, Ashton Sample, A.J. King, Deontay Jones, the speed demon, coming through the middle of that line untouched, as you can see here, not really having to negotiate anyone, and then just to the foot race, something that he loves to get in with that speed that he has for the big touchdown.
Wow. It's like he was shot out of a cannon. Belden PAT up and in, and it's 49-17. 90-yard touchdown run, career best for Deontay Jones.
Big time blocking in the middle, and then just to show Deontay Jones to make that big play. This offense, when it has big play, showing you it has big play capability.
No doubt.
It just has not been consistent where it's been able to put some drives together. But these kind of plays, and we're not saying the game is over, but it is a big score. These are the kind of plays to build confidence for the rest of the seasons that East Coweta needs.
Well, if they're going to have any hope of a comeback, they need to get another score here to get it below 30, because then once you get into a running clock in that fourth quarter, you got no chance. And I know that's a big hypothetical looking ahead, but if you're going to get back in the game, you got to do that. Ball is loose. It's recovered by East Coweta at the 48. Caleb Odom touched it, fumbled it forward, and the Indians have it.
The sure hand Caleb Odom here. A knuckleballer just really rolled to him.
That's a great kick by Belden.
Great kick, hit him in the shin right there was Odom. You can see waiting on the bounce. The ball never bounced. It ran right into it. Odom is a tall guy to have on that front line. Didn't bend down. Nice pickup there for East Coweta.
So they've got it at the 48. And again, they got to get it below 30. And if they can do that, and again, it's a long way from a comeback, but that's how you got to start doing it. So they take over at the 48. I'd like to see them get some consistency here. They've hit the big plays. Let's see if you can consistently walk this thing down the field and score.
And it starts with pre-snap, no penalties, making this first play of this series a positive endeavor.
Play action. Going to step up and throw a home run ball down the field for Horsley, and it's intercepted at the 5-yard line. Trying to get it all back, and Kelvin Hill comes down with the pick.
Calvin Hill running step to step with Horsley once again. Cohen Peoples going for the big shot. Felt like he had a one-on-one matchup over here with Hill, the UAB commit, going up at the high point, taking that ball away from Horsley. That's been a battle tonight between those two. This time Carrollton winning on their end.
So Kelvin Hill coming up with the interception. That's going to be the 9th interception of his career. So the ball goes over to the Trojans. They're over there rocking the tent.
Got the tent rocking. They're starting to sense the wind. They're playing great on defense. We've seen 3 big plays by East Coweta, but other than that, the defense has been stellar for Carrollton, and now we're watching them come off of their 5-yard line.
Handoff, and that is Messiah Satterwhite, the freshman running back, getting his first carry of the game. Here's a look at all of Carrollton's big plays tonight. Kofor, 44-yard touchdown catch. Mosley, 68, catch and run. White, a 53-yard touchdown reception. McNeil, 76-yard catch and run. Kofor, 62-yard touchdown catch. And they have big played their way to a 49-17 lead. Going for another big play, and this time Kofor can't turn around and get it. thrown to his outside shoulder that time.
This is one that Juju Lewis, when he watches the film, he's going to want back. Getting that step right there was Kofor. You could just let him down the numbers or into the field. Kofor was winning the foot race that time, ball going over his outside shoulder, just couldn't make an adjustment to get to the ball.
2nd down and 10. White in motion behind the line. Handoff goes to Satterwhite. Satterwhite. Ball is out. East Coweta's got it. Duggar picks up the loose ball. And Duggar bringing it back the other way. Returns it to the 29. So Malachi Duggar with his 2nd fumble recovery of the night.
Messiah Satterwhite, the young freshman here, running hard between the tackles. Saw that open space. And as a freshman there on that little spin, you got to cover the ball up, especially in the middle of the field. Nice job by Duggar, being Johnny on the spot and picking that up for his defense. Young freshman has a lot of talent. But in that case, running in the middle of the defense down the field, you got to cover that ball up when people are trying to bring you down.
So East Coweta goes back on offense at the 29. And another chance. Peoples tonight, 7 of 15, 79 yards in the air. Thrown an interception and a touchdown. Going to the end zone again and off the hands, this time of Jay Hagan.
Working the ball, trying to get it to Elijah Farrell. Jay Hayden running step for step. These are just 50-50 balls. These receivers in these situations are not really open. He's just airing it out, trying to come back, a big score. We saw that in the first half. He's throwing it towards the end zone, hoping that his receiver makes a play.
Hit the nail on the head. They're just 50-50 balls. Handoff goes to Thompson. He bulls his way down to the 22. And I can appreciate them trying to get it back. You know, hit the big play, but sometimes a more high percentage pass. Let's get a first down. Let's get a couple of first downs. 3rd down and 4. This is a good spot right here for him. Deontay Jones, stiff arm, and a first down carry for Jones.
Nice
stiff arm out there, Jaden Thompson.
Good job of vision there by Jones, able to bounce it to the outside. Those guys is always trying to get to the second level. This time just outrunning Brody Bradburn, picking up that first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians. They pick up that first down, just their 9th of the game. Throwing for the end zone again. Got a man out there. He brings it in. Did he have control? Touchdown. Gritton with the catch. (49-23).
Seth Gritton just running to the back of the end zone, headed to the pylon. Nice rollout. Good delivery. Ball wobbly, but in great spot for his receiver to catch. And I'm not sure right there that maybe he had control, but it's on the board.
If this was the state finals and we had replay, that might be coming back.
It's on the board as a touchdown.
It's going to count as a touchdown tonight. I don't believe he had control as he was going out of bounds, but it's going to count as a touchdown catch for Seth Gritton. Look at him. He's still bobbling it, and he's out. Don't know that he had control. But that's a super job because he goes sprawling out on the track around the field, and that can't feel good. That's a great catch by Seth Gritton to make it 29 or 49-24. 3rd touchdown catch of the season for Gritton, the 5'9", 153 senior.
Nice response that time by East Coweta with the turnover, that time punching it in. Getting a little momentum offensively, still kind of hanging on the big play. as their offense to try to get back. And in this case, that's really what you got to have. You got to have fast scores, big plays down the field.
Well, you give yourself a chance because now you've got it under 30, which means if you can keep it there, there won't be a running clock in the fourth quarter. That gives you at least a chance at a comeback. Another pop-up kick, and the play gets blown dead.
Prior to the kick, delay of game, the ball had not been marked ready for play yet. 5-yard penalty, still free kick.
So that backs him up to the 35-yard line. Now, John Small's team with a couple of touchdowns here in the third quarter after falling behind 49-10 are back in the game. At least they still got a fighting chance.
You can see on this time, Caleb Odom is not on the front line, looking for the onside kick.
He's on that
He's
second
on that
line.
second line. Typically, you don't put tall players up there front because the ball comes so low.
Going to kick it to the other side. It's going to bounce into the end zone. So a touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Belden showing us some great versatility with his kicking ability on kickoffs.
Great job, directional kicking tonight. You saw the good offense, the good onside kick earlier, and now Juju Lewis and his offense with 4 minutes left. 4:23 left in this quarter. How aggressive will they be on this drive? Something tells me they're going to keep their foot on the gas and try to put another touchdown up real quick to maybe try to get into a running clock situation.
How about Juju's numbers tonight? 13 of 21, 411 yards and 6 touchdown passes.
Video game type production tonight for that young man.
Going to the air over here, and that's complete. Driven out of bounds after the catch by Christian Ward. First catch for him tonight. He's another good-looking sophomore with offers from UAB, Arkansas State, and Texas A&M.
6'3", 175, 180 long, just part of that sophomore class that Coach King is going to be able to dial back next year with his commander right there, Julian Lewis.
Farmer on the run. Farmer gets knocked down eventually by Josh Anderson in on that tackle. Some help from a teammate, but that's going to be a first down run for Kamari Farmer.
Kamari Farmer had a strong first quarter. He was basically the offense running the ball. Farmer and Satterwhite have to realize this Coweta team on those tackles, they're going to be ripping for that ball, trying to create. They're not the biggest of backs, both listed at about 175.
Lewis drag route dropped. Kofor that time.
Not really sure why Kofor stopped on the route. He was running a little drag route underneath. Plenty of room to catch that ball right there, as you can see.
Brings up second down and 10 from the 39.
Staying aggressive. It's this Trojan offense still willing to air it out, not just trying to run clock.
Ball goes to McNeil, and McNeil up to the 45 or 46. They'll spot it at the 45.
And that is a touchdown saving tackle there by Jalen Thornton. There was a convoy of offensive linemen in that screen that if McNeil could have got underneath, it might have been another touchdown. He's showing you that speed. He's down now.
We saw his blazing speed earlier in this quarter when he trucked it 76 yards for a touchdown. Looks like it might be a calf. You can see that right calf muscle seized up on his leg. They're going to try to stretch it out here. And then we'll check in with John Nelson while they're working on A.J. McNeil.
Well, let's take a tour of the state and let you know what's going on. We do have some finals. We do have some region play going on. So here's the quick rundown. Right now, Wintersville Classic, third quarter. Lowndes has now opened up a 27-14 lead against Valdosta. Appling and Toombs, a big game in South Georgia. Appling was down early to Toombs. Right now, Appling has come back to lead that one 28-20. Camden County was down early 21-7. They're now up ahead of Richmond Hill 35-27 in Region 1-7A. Cairo a big winner tonight. Coffee a big winner tonight. Carver Columbus a big winner tonight as well, knocking off Thomasville, Matt, by the score of 28-14 back upstairs.
Thank you, Nelly. They got McNeil off the field with 3rd down and 4 coming up. Another spectacular night for that young man right there. Handoff goes to Farmer, reaches the edge. Around the edge, flags are out. He even stopped after he saw the block and looked back and watched all the flags fly behind him.
Great vision, bouncing it to the outside. I think they're going to get a hold out there on Caleb Odom, on Darian Horsley. In that kind of case, you just want to run your feet, not grab jersey. Very easy call, hands to the outside on the play.
I mean, I've never even seen it. The running back just saw it happen. He's like, okay, that's it. He just slowed. I've never seen a running back do that. I mean, he was like, okay, well, I might as well stop because this play is coming back.
Caleb Odom in good position there, just throwing Horsley down. Not sure those guys have been going at it all night.
Holding against the offense. 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. What's the results of the play will be a first down.
Yeah, you got to keep running, though. You never know what the officials are going to call.
It's still going to be a first down, guys.
It's still going to be a first down, guys. So first down run for Farmer didn't go the distance because of the penalty. So 1st and 10 now, ball at the 45.
Taking advantage of this passing attack that's kind of loosened this defense up. The secondary was playing a little tighter earlier. Right now with all the production, throwing the ball down the field. A lot of room underneath for Farmer to run.
Going for it all. And incomplete, trying to connect with Mosley. Flynn Larkin, the safety, was running coverage.
Nice job there by Larkin, not getting a pass interference on that call with Mosley. And you got a feeling that Mosley started looking for one right here. It's real close.
Yeah, he's got his hands on him with the ball in the air. So they got away with that. Flynn Larkin, 6'2", 180 junior. Really grown up and matured, in the words of head coach John Small. 26 tackles on the season, 5 passes defended coming into the game.
Caleb Odom,
Prior
false
to the
start.
snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, still 2nd down.
It hasn't been the greatest game for Caleb Odom. Only 2 catches, 44 yards. That's because others have been involved. Kofor, 3 catches for 110 and 2 touchdowns. Mosley, 3 catches for 96 and a touchdown. McNeil, 2 catches, 82 and a touchdown. And Jordan White, 2 catches, 66 and 2 touchdowns. Screen alert! You heard the coaches yell, it's a screen alert. 2nd down. Instead, it's going to be a handoff to Farmer. And Farmer down to the 44.
Nice pickup there by Farmer, running behind the pads. As he showed you in that first quarter, willing to run between the tackles here, follow his blocking on the counter play. Good, nice kick out there by White. Getting half of that distance back on that play right there.
Everything I see from Jordan White, from a pass catching and blocking, tells me this guy is a big-time player.
Definitely is a guy. Someone needs to come down here and start throwing some stars around, some recruitment. Great size at 6'3", 225.
They shovel the ball to Farmer right there, and Duggar going to throw him down at the 42, and it's going to be 4th down. Duggar having himself a game.
Nice read there by Duggar. A little flip to the outside, really never drew the defense in. It's like a long extended pitch pass out to Farmer, and Duggar able to find that big physical safety, playing that dog position.
He's got a couple of fumble recoveries tonight, 4 tackles. It's 4th down and 8. Ball is at the 43. Albertus on the punt. Gonna hit at the 19 and bounce around like a pinball. Be downed at the 17. That's where East Coweta's gonna go back on offense. Indians, 3 more games left in the regular season. They'll be playing host to Campbell at 2 and 4 next Friday night. Then they've got 9th-ranked Westlake on the road in College Park before closing things out against Pebblebrook. This is their Region 2 7A opener tonight. Only 4 region games for teams in that region. Carrollton looks like they're going to start 1-0. East Coweta 0-1. Deontay Jones with another nice run. Had a 91-yard touchdown run earlier in the quarter. He's now got 11 carries and over 130 yards rushing tonight.
Good blocking there off the left side by Clayton and Hurd, and that's that positive first down that this offense needs to succeed.
Jones this time gets stood up literally at the line of scrimmage.
Jaden Thompson, number 5, stepping in there. Jones only listed at 165, not the biggest of back, known for his speed.
He's a tough runner, though.
But is a tough runner inside.
He can break tackles, get to the second level, as you saw earlier in this quarter when he broke off a 91-yard sprint to the end zone. Could be the final play of the third quarter right here. And it's 3rd down and 2. Gritton in motion behind the line, and Jones gets the handoff, and he's going to get the first down. So that'll move the sticks as he crosses the 30. The clock running again. That's the final play of the third quarter. East Coweta down 25, but they're still in it. No running clock in the fourth quarter. They check that box. But Carrollton, they've been able to hit the big play tonight. They lead at 49-24 as we head to the fourth.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
Buckle up, Georgia, as we head to the fourth quarter here in Sharpsburg, and third-ranked Carrollton with a 49-24 lead on East Coweta. Matt Stewart, Wayne Gandy, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, our entire Emmy-winning GPB sports team here with you tonight on another Football Friday in Georgia. Wayne, 556 yards total offense for Carrollton tonight through three quarters.
Big play down the field, explosive receivers out on the edge. Juju Lewis shining in that second and third quarter for his team.
425 yards passing for Juju Lewis and 6 touchdowns. But it's East Coweta on offense. 1st and 10 as we start the fourth quarter. Peoples being chased out of the pocket. Flag goes down, likely a holding call as he gets tackled out of bounds.
Montrez Smith coming off that edge. Trace McWright trying to block him, the tight end. Just a bad matchup when you're asking a tight end to block somebody like a Montrez Smith.
During the run, holding, offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
And those are those miscues we've said on first down, and I'm quite sure Coach Smalls is going to talk about on Monday. So many plays, so many drives they started on first down behind the sticks.
East Coweta started the season with a 5-game winning streak, had it snapped in their last game 2 weeks ago, the 1-point loss at Lambert. So looking at a 2-game losing streak, rather, if they cannot rally here in this fourth quarter. Handoff goes to Thompson, Darrell Thompson. And Thompson with a strong run up to the 30-yard line. Jaden Thompson making the tackle for Carrollton.
Power play right there. Darrell Thompson running off of that left side, known more for bruising. There, showing a little burst of speed out in the open field is the junior. Physicality at the end of the run, that's what we look for from the Punisher.
East Coweta has now outrushed Carrollton in this game. As Thompson gets it again, Montrez Smith comes up from that linebacker spot to put a lick on him, and it's going to be third down.
So instinctive is Smith. Plays with a certain edge, physicality as well. The Duke commit.
He was at that Duke Notre Dame game.
Exciting game. You have to take your hat off. You never thought you would be watching Duke football against Notre Dame and be sitting at the edge of your seat. Great game, great competition by Duke.
Duke, it's not just for basketball anymore. Instead of the Cameron Crazies, they got the Wallace Wade Wackos. Third down and 9. Peoples going to take a sack back at the 29-yard line. Gets smothered underneath. C.J. Kelly leading the charge.
Coming with the pressure, just too many bodies to block. Coming with the pressure, not able. Montrez Smith off the edge, trying to step up in the pocket is Peoples. Aggressiveness on defense for the Trojans all night long as far as rushing the passer.
Yeah, Landon Wolf in on that sack as well, so a combo from Wolf and Kelly. Keyshawn Johnson standing deep for the Trojans back in the 42. Belden on the punt again, standing at his 15. Then a rugby-style kick it again. Johnson calls fair catch, makes it at the 38. And that's where Carrollton will go on offense when we come back from this timeout with the Trojans on top, 49-24.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
Zamaya, she's my point guard, but she's also like my silent killer. You know, she doesn't need all the hoopla, all the accolades and everything. She just does her job, but she does it with a tenacity that nobody would know.
coming in high school, my dream was to always win the state championship game.
Hit one of the biggest shots that we needed at the time and did it without, she didn't jump around, oh yeah, I did this. Nah, she still had that face like, I'm supposed to be here.
Save It Pharmacy does a great job with those player spotlights. Check it out on YouTube. Carrollton 49-24 lead. Let's take a look at the Trojans' remaining schedule. Their next 4 games: Pebblebrook, Westlake, and at Campbell. So 1st and 10, ball is at the 38-yard line. 10-plus wins in 26 of the last 34 seasons for this Carrollton program. And well on their way to picking up win number 6 tonight. Pass goes out on the edge to Mosley, and Duggar going to tackle him going out of bounds at the 40. They're going to spot it out, I think, at around the 38.
Just my athlete is better than your athlete out in space right there, getting the matchup with Mosley on Duggar out on the edge. Nice job catching the ball, getting upfield. Nice job by the receiver blocking without holding this time on the little wide receiver screen.
Lewis, clean pocket, going to dump it off here to Farmer. And Farmer going to get stopped at the 45.
Nice job there this time by Malachi Duggar, coming up, tackling Farmer out in the open space. Julian Lewis going through his progression and working the ball back out to Farmer. A nice tackle there by Duggar.
2nd down and 12. Ball is at the 45.
Interesting drive so far. 2 passes on a game. You're up 25. You want to milk the clock. You pull out the run game. Carrollton still going through the air.
Pass complete to Mosley. That'll be a 1st down. Ryan Mosley with the catch. Moves the sticks.
And this is part of that Julian Lewis Juju's package. He can roll out, shoulder square, great fundamentals there. Good delivery of the ball out to his receiver, Mosley. That combination, both are sophomores. They're going to have some great years here together.
You look at Julian Lewis, and you don't think of him as a sophomore. He plays the game like he's a senior, right? 1st and 10. Right up the middle, Farmer trying to strip him of the ball. Still on his feet. And Farmer all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Earlier we talked about the young freshman, Messiah Satterwhite, learning about how the defense is going to try to pull the ball out. This is all about the explosiveness of Farmer, and then the defense trying to get the ball out and just giving up yards in the process, and Farmer keeping those legs driving and into the end zone.
32-yard touchdown run for Farmer. And a 55-24 lead for Carrollton. PAT by Hernandez is good. And a 56-24 lead for the Trojans. Kamari Farmer plowing through the defense.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
As morning light signals the start of business, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are right there with you. Georgia's EMCs are a partner in economic development, serving commercial accounts big and small that drive Georgia's economy. From leading industries we rely on to local shops we treasure, we support operations on the ground, care around the clock, and growth through the seasons, lighting up good business. So business is good. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org. Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Welcome back to Sharpsburg. 8:13 to go here in this one with Carrollton now up by 32. Multi-screen experience, we'll get into that. It's an 18-point game with 1:17 and counting. It is Langston Hughes up by the score of 47-29. A lot of points have been put up once again by Air Noland and that group. It looks like they are going to be hanging on in short order with the big win. Matt, before I send it back up to you, Wintersville Classic update. It is now 28-27. Valdosta now leading Lowndes. Once again, that one is now early fourth quarter. We'll keep an eye on it. Camden County winners tonight in 1-7A. Up to you.
How about that? Crazy game going on there. But we win. We win point total. We've got 80. And East Paulding and Langston Hughes, I think they're at 76. So we win. Kick is going to come down and be returnable from the 5. Gilbert on the return, gets to the 20 and no more. That's where the Indians go back on offense with 8+ to play in this game. Peoples 8 of 17 passing, 97 yards, couple of touchdowns. Deontay Jones with a 138-yard rushing game. 91 of that came on a touchdown run. And Horsley's been their top receiver, 3 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. And Darrell Thompson back in there at running back. Thompson's going to get the handoff, and Thompson run down by Bradburn out there on the edge. Good to see Bradburn back.
Good to see him in that middle. Perfect time to start getting him back into that rotation. You could just see with the production that he brings, 5 offers, including Wofford and Alabama State, but the leadership, that big body in the middle behind those 2 tough, smaller D tackles. And it really gives them that advantage of being able to let Montrez Smith do different things defensively.
They're going to need him in that stretch run, and once they get into the playoffs, they're going to need Bryce Hicks too. And the good news is Bryce Hicks, Coach Joey King says they hope to have him back for the playoffs. Got to talk to him on the sideline during pregame warm-ups. Got a boot still on his lower right leg, but he's saying he's able to do some bike riding, so he's getting some cardio in. Because that's going to be the big thing. I mean, you're going to jump back in there with, no ability to really get a lot of exercise in with that broken leg. Another quarterback sack. Gets run down from behind. That'll be the 5th quarterback sack of the night for this Trojans team.
Zion Cooley there. Nice built junior, 6'4", 215. Just working off the guard, running a little TE stunt, just hustling down that line. Still playing with effort as this Trojan defense.
That's his team leading 5th quarterback sack of the season. He's been offered by UAB. And you're right, he looks good. 6'4", 215, and he's just a junior. I think when we see him next year, he's going to have a lot more offers than just one. Fair catch made at the 47-yard line as the Trojans will go back on offense with just over 6 minutes left in this one.
Now the big question is, does Coach King start rotating some of the subs in at this point? Big score, just need to milk the clock out. Be very surprised if Julian Lewis is still in this game at this point. You have a flag on the play.
I mean, he hasn't been touched in this game.
Well, you imagine if he's coming back out, is most likely going to be running the ball or quick
Blocking below
throws.
the waist on the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run, first down.
So the penalty's going against East Coweta.
And if you're taking out your offensive lineman, if you're starting to rotate them, you're definitely going to take out Julian Lewis. So that's the big point. Are the subs coming into the game?
Well, Dylan Bishop is the backup. He's a sophomore. And Julian's still in the huddle there. I think that's him. Can't tell for sure until I see the back of his helmet and to see the big blonde. Yep, and Dylan Bishop's coming in. So Julian Juju Lewis done for the night with 455 yards passing, 19 of 29 and 6 touchdown passes tonight. Just another day at the office for Juju. So 1st and 10. Handoff goes Satterwhite. The freshman getting another carry after he had the fumble earlier.
Old school runner. That's what Coach King labeled him. Only as a freshman. He's 5'11", 175. Said he has some speed. He's physical.
Finish the description. Coach said old school running back wants to run through your face. I've heard he wants to run you over, wants to run through the tackle. But Coach took it a step further. Joey King said he wants to run through your face.
Just a downhill physical runner, as you can see right there. Only a freshman, already on the varsity, playing minutes.
So 2nd down and 2. Band still lighting it up here on this Friday night. I love it. Keeper for the quarterback. He's going to slide down and might have a flag for a late hit. We have a flag, and it might be for a late hit. As Dylan Bishop had slid down. That's a tough call because I think the tackle's coming in fast trying. That's going to be a holding, so forget it. It wasn't a late hit.
It was a late flag for
It was a late,
holding.
yes, exactly. The flag came in where you think it would be an infraction on the tackle.
During the play, offense, a penalty from the spot of the foul. Still, 2nd down.
So that's going to back it up to the 37-yard line as the clock goes under 5 minutes here in just a few seconds. Satterwhite breaking out of some tackles. He's running hard.
Hard running freshman right there. And when you look at for the offense, they have a lot of freshmen out here playing, freshmen and sophomores, getting some experience.
I mean, they've got a young team. I mean, they really do. They've got a team that's set up for a number of years contending for the state championship.
Some of the more productive players, even with the starting units out there, are only juniors and sophomores as well. So playing at a high level and getting some experience now with even younger players for this Carrollton team.
Handoff goes to Satterwhite again, goes down immediately. And this is a Carrollton program, one of the storied programs in the state with 7 state championships. But it's been 24 seasons since they won their last state championship, and they have only one in the last 48 years. They won one in 1998, and then you have to go back to 1974. So the 6 other state championships in their history all came before 1974, with 5 of those coming under the legendary coach Charlie Grisham. They won one in 1998 under the late Ben Scott, who died a year later, tragically, of liver disease. But they feel like they have the ingredients to get there again this year and possibly break that state championship drought. Ball going over to East Coweta when we get back.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
Welcome back to Sharpsburg. Go through some more scores before we send it back up for the final 2:53. Houston County a winner tonight over Northside 42-14. Fitzgerald over Worth County by the score of 42-20. Toombs County, Buddy Martin, big win, last-second field goal, Matt, knocking off Appling County in a battle of 2 versus 3. 31-28 your final score. Big win tonight for the Folkson Lions to stay undefeated. Back up to you.
No doubt about it. They got it rolling in Toombs County this year. So 1st and 10 for East Coweta as they take over at the 46. You see the comparison of Juju Lewis, the last time he was on GPB, with the 531 yards and 5 touchdowns. Well, he did a touchdown better tonight, not quite as many yards tonight, but a lot more efficiently. Look at that, 29 pass attempts, 19 completions to get 455 yards.
Getting the ball out of his hand quick tonight, big plays down the field. His receivers came up big with runs after the catch. And you're right, Matt, after last year and getting a little taste of the state finals, this team seems to be very poised to finally bring another trophy to Carrollton.
Second down and 10. You know, and going back to Juju for a moment, a lot of people would wonder why Southern Cal, and you know, but I think it's pretty obvious. You look at the resume, and they were frank about that. His dad, talking to reporters, said, look, you look at the resume that Lincoln Riley has had, you know, with Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, guys that have gone on to professional careers, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler, who's now at South Carolina, current Heisman Trophy winner, Caleb Williams, who's his quarterback at USC right now, and it makes perfect sense for Juju Lewis.
The quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
It's what you almost have to call Lincoln Riley. He can take a game of any quarterback and seem to be able to teach it those nuances to even make him better. And his resume and that young man in a couple of years being out there in California definitely bolsters that Trojan tradition.
He is what you would call a Trojan man. Carrollton Trojan and a future USC Trojan.
Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy winner that's out there, has already opened up all the Wendy's, NIL deals and everything else for that young man to step right into.
Yeah, he's doing quite well for himself. Under a minute to go, 4th and 9. Going to just heave it up as far as they can, I think. Oh, it's caught right there at the 35-yard line by Critton, and then he gets blasted from behind by Wolf. So they pick up the first down. Or do they?
It's like the team is walking back like maybe it was a penalty. Don't see any yellow on the field.
Bob in the back fence. 5-yard penalty. Give me a spot still.
So that's going to erase that first down catch and make it 4th down again. Tough night for the Indians. They will drop to 5-2 and 0-1 in the region. Carrollton will now be 6-1 and 1-0 in the region, and that's going to do it. They bring the punting unit on, but the clock's going to run out here. 56-24, the Carrollton Trojans. Ranked 3rd in the state with a big win tonight, as Juju Lewis puts on a show, throws for 455, spreads the wealth around, 6 touchdowns thrown to 4 different receivers. Mosley going for 5 receptions, 128. Farmer had 127 yards rushing. Just a big night for the Trojans.
And their skill position like White and Mosley, Kofor, taking advantage. Caleb Odom double teamed most of the night. Coverage rolled over. That was one of the key points for East Coweta. And that's what you need. Julian Lewis needs that when he can't get the ball to his main man. Other guys stepped up, made huge plays down the field, and the defense with that kind of bend, don't break, swarming mentality, especially with this linebacking core, making plays, getting sacks. Very well coached team.
Tonight's coach's interview is brought to you by Johnny's New York Style Pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria. Nelly?
Thank you very much, Matt. Here with Joey King. What'd you learn about yourself tonight?
Our guys kept fighting. You know, even when we make a mistake or stump our toe a little bit, our guys continue to fight. I know our defense did a really good job there down the stretch. Super proud of our offense. You know, we've got some big play capability, and we made some big plays tonight, but so did they. You know, so those guys are well coached. I have all the respect in the world for Coach Small. He does a tremendous job.
I was going to, and that was the reason why I wanted to ask what you were learning about yourself tonight, because I know that you're going to look at that film and you're going to look at those big chunk plays that you were giving up, and that's going to be a lesson that you're going to carry forward.
For sure. Not happy about it at all. As a coach, I mean, every mistake, every detail matters to you. But I thought our guys, you know, they kept fighting. They didn't let one big play get them down. You know, so the way they responded to that, I'm very, very proud of that.
When you come out of the blocks, what you're looking for, region play, you're going to make that early step and have everybody else looking up at you.
Just one week at a time right now. You know, I'm super proud to get a win. Over here at East Coweta, it's not necessarily an easy place to play. Great atmosphere tonight, but definitely glad to be 1-0 in the region.
There's going to be somebody we're going to be talking to in a second. Does he ever surprise you with what he's been able to do as a sophomore in high school?
He practices the same way. He does. He makes those plays in practice too. So when I see him out here, it's expected because he does it every day against our defense.
Congratulations. Safe ride home.
Thank you so much.
Joey King, head coach of Carrollton, brought to us by our friends at Johnny's Pizza, which means we tag in the hot tag for Julian. 4:55 and 6 tonight. Our Georgia Cotton Commission player of the game. The Georgia Cotton Commission, the natural choice for Georgia, obviously our natural choice for player of the game. Do you surprise yourself at all with what you're able to do out here at times?
I can't say I do. I mean, I know going into every game that Coach King's going to put us in the best position to do what we need to do to come out victorious, and I mean, that's what we've been doing.
What'd you learn about yourself out there tonight and about this offense, putting up the numbers that you did, finishing the night with 56?
I mean, shoot, we're going to do this every week. I mean, our offense is going to move the ball. Our defense gives us the ball. I mean, we're going to come out and win every game.
With all of the pressure and all of the expectations that you have, that this team has, how do you tune out all the noise with folks like me talking to you and asking you about the noise every week?
Honestly, it's not that deep to me. I mean, I just come out here to play football. I love football. It's what I do. I've been doing it since I was 5, so I don't really look into all the media stuff. That kind of just comes with it.
And at the early parts of the game, you were very aggressive offensively. The 4th down play that created the touchdown after the missed field goal, you continue to be aggressive. Middle of the field seemed to be open for you. What was it like for you out there reading, especially the middle third?
Oh, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, we were kind of out there. I mean, I kind of just listen to whatever Coach King tells me to do, and I just run with it. I know I got guys that can make plays, so I just try to get them the ball.
Last question for you, and thanks for hanging out. 455 and 6 tonight are Georgia Cotton Commission Player of the Game. What kind of conditioner do you use, or you just do straight shampoo?
No, I can't disclose that information right now. I got to keep it a secret. The curls got to stay disclosed.
Yes, it does. Juju Lewis, fantastic work tonight. 455 and 6. Good to see you, my friend. Georgia Cotton Commission Player of the Game. Matt, I tried to get the information because of the flow. Trevor Lawrence in Cartersville, he had a Twitter account. I'm waiting for Juju's hair to follow suit. Back up to you.
Well, I think there's some NIL possibilities there with
definitely
that. No doubt about it. What'd you think about Juju after the performance and then after hearing him call it?
I think that for a young man, he's very poised to live up to the hype and come out, as you can see, a cool customer. You never really saw too much emotion, regardless of the score, whether he was making big plays or not. He's just fashioned for the position, and I think he can lead this team to where they want to go.
He's just a dang good quarterback. I mean, he really is.
Nothing says sophomore about him.
5-star, ranked number 1 in the country for 2026, and nothing I've seen from this young man so far in the 4 times he's been on GPB changes my mind about anything like that.
Yeah, just efficient with the ball, smart with it. No interceptions so far on the season, and he knows where to go, make his reads, and has a lot of explosive talent.
Well, be sure to join us next Friday night as the Hiram Hornets take on the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. Canes ranked number 1 in the GPB 5A Top 10. That's next Friday night at 7:30 right here on GPB TV. And our web game next Friday night, a big region battle as the Carver Panthers take on the defending state champion Sandy Creek Fighting Patriots. That's our web game next Friday night. Now, if you missed portions of tonight's game or just want to see it again, you can catch a full replay later this evening at 11:30 or in the coming week at gpb.org/sports on demand. Once again, the final 56-24 is number 3. Carrollton wins big. And now for Wayne Gandy, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, our executive producer, Kevin Gerke, our game producer, Glenn Diamond, and our director, Ryan Bowles. I'm Matt Stewart. Good night from Sharpsburg and East Coweta High School. This has been a presentation of GPB Sports.